And we are live on another Wednesday night. Mr. Sickinger live with a Lawrence Taylor jersey. How are you, sir?
You know what? Feeling spunky tonight. Feeling a little LT-ish, so we're good.
Love it. By the way, we're getting our first comment. Our guy Eddie Murphy saying finally something different than politics, LOL. So we're not going to talk that here. We'll talk a little sports, but not that. Petro, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. Happy hump day, everybody.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Kirkpatrick, how are you?
Doing well as also, again, like you said, no politic talk tonight. Let's talk sports.
Let's go. Where you know what? Where do you want to begin, Mr. Kirkpatrick?
We always begin with your rapid fire. Why change it up?
All right, you want to do a little rapid fire?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get a little rapid fire. I got a couple questions here on the list. All right, number one. For the Chicago Bears, is it time? Nick Foles, Mitchell Trubisky, Kenny.
Is it time for what?
Who are you going with as quarterback right now?
Foles.
Jim.
Foles has done it before. He's showed he can win. They're at a winning record. Foles. Oh, it's rapid fire. I'm sorry.
By the way, Coach Breslin saying, "What's up, fellas? How are you, Coach?"
Good evening,
Breslin?
Coach Breslin. A voice of reason in the crowd. I like it.
Jim, what do you got? Foles or Trubisky going forward?
Yeah, it's a quaint Foles. You know what? Thank I'm not a Bears fan.
Manny saying hello, Manny. Manny saying Nick Foles. Petro, where you going?
I'll be honest. I watched some of that Bears game the other day, and Nick Foles looked awful. I mean, I know Trubisky isn't much better, but I mean, how many games did they win with Trubisky versus how many have they won with Foles?
I know, and you know what? A lot of people on Twitter this week, it was crazy. They were calling for Trubisky. I've never seen.
I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm leaning towards Trubisky.
Okay.
I just don't think Foles. You're basing it off of a Super Bowl that if the Patriots defense, if they play Malcolm Butler, they probably win that Super Bowl, and Foles is irrelevant. So
all right, so you're going Trubisky. All right, next
I'm
one.
going Trubisky.
All right, here we go. Ready, Jim? This is a fun one. Best NFL uniform.
I have two.
You know what? I don't know, because mostly I think about that with baseball, right? Like, you know what?
Yeah.
I mean, if you would have asked me two uniforms that I used to like, I used to like the old creamsicle Tampa Bay, and I liked the old Patriots helmet with Pat the Patriot on the side. Like, I know that probably isn't the answer you're looking for, but right off the start, like, I don't know. That's a great question.
Petro?
I have two. I love the giant uniforms that they wore this past Monday. The all white.
They're nice.
Yes,
they're nice.
Those are so sharp. I love when teams do, like, if they're gonna be because I asked Jim, the Chiefs never do it. Like, red on red would look so sharp. I like when they do all the same color.
They did it once.
That's usually the isn't that usually the Thursday color rush games?
The color rush.
The color rush. Yeah,
Yeah, they did an all red. It looked spectacular.
Yeah.
I love that. The Redskins used to do it, like, back when we had, like, Sean Taylor in them. We would do either the all burgundy or the all white. It would look so nice. So I like those giant uniforms, and I love those lime green Seahawk jerseys. I just think they're so cool. They're so bright. I'm going to go with those.
Okay. By the way, we're getting a couple comments. Coach Breslin went Foles for now, trade Trubisky and start over. This staff does not like Trubisky. And Bobby Blackjack, I'm telling you, he's like living on cloud nine. Hello from the best team in the K&K Sports Football League. He beat you, didn't he, Kenny?
Well, Bobby can thank my job because I worked overnight the night before and I forgot to put Jamal Williams in.
And
I'd like to
Petro,
thank
I still have more points than him now, and my two big dogs are on IR, and he's coming back this week.
I think I would have beat Bobby if I didn't play Jamal. If Jamal Williams was in that.
Thanks for keeping my seat warm.
Manny,
I'd like to thank you
know
for
what?
my first
Manny
win.
likes the Seahawks too, guys. You guys are saying Seahawks. Manny went with the Seahawks. Kenny, who do you like?
I got two different ones. I like the Raiders. I love that silver and black, the helmet.
Yeah.
And then a real old school, I like the Packers. You know, I like that green and I like that green uniform. It fits perfect up in that cold weather, Lambeau Field. Like,
Hey, does anybody are you guys too young to remember? But like, I remember having electric football when I was a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember having the Dolphins and the Colts in electric football. Like, you know what? And that game went out pretty quick. They're selling that back online now, and they're charging a fortune for it.
I believe it.
You can't do anything. You're at the mercy of the little thing going around in a circle. But you'd sit there like an idiot for hours with your friends. You bring
I remember
your bag, you know, you bring your bag of players over your friend's house to play electric football. Oh my God, passes with the little foam football you put on his arm, and if it hit the guy, I mean,
yeah, you put the little foam football under their arm.
Yeah, right, under their arm, and if it dropped out,
they run backward. They run, and then.
By the way, Eddie Murphy saying I actually like the dark blue Bronco uniform. I do too. They should go back to that as their home uniform instead of the orange. They should.
I like the Broncos' old uniform with the D on their helmet with the Bronco.
Oh, the helmet. Yeah, the helmet's really nice. Yeah.
Would you go back to that, Kurt?
Yeah, you know what? They actually have a combination. I wish I should go grab it, but they actually have a combination of that, and it's the D, but it's with the dark blue, and so they wore that in their color rush, so
are they doing that anymore? Like the color rush? No, right?
You know what? I don't think they've done it this year. I haven't seen it yet.
Right.
But Jimmy Eiserman saying, "What's up, guys?"
What's up, Jimmy?
And then Rich.
Jimmy's a man. At least he don't brag about his fantasy football team on the air. And he's got a nice little team over there.
And then Rich Rigolosio saying, "I remember that. Just watch it shake."
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, buzz. All right, next one. Here we go. I'm going to start with Petro because I know he's going to love this question. The answers are either going to be none, 1, 2, or all 3. How many of these guys do the Mets sign this year? Bauer, Realmuto, Springer.
So I don't think Realmuto wants to come to New York. I heard him say that he doesn't want to. I'm going to say 2 out of the 3. Because just in case somehow I don't think Bauer is going to be a Met, but 2 out of 3.
Okay, Jim.
I'm going to say 1 out of 3. I think
in particular?
I think Realmuto, once again, as Petro said, I've read a lot of stuff. Like, he doesn't sound like a New York kind of guy. I think Bauer's just going to dangle himself out there waiting for the highest payday to come along. And it may or may not be the Coens. But Springer, that'd be a nice get. You know what? And where did he go to school?
There it is.
George Springer. He's a Husky.
Kenny?
Go 0.
Really?
Yeah, none of them guys are going to go on the Mets.
Okay.
Springer's going to be a Yankee.
Coach Riggs is saying 2. Eddie Murphy's saying Springer. Murphy's saying 1 of the 3. Coach Riggs is also saying he likes the Vikings jerseys back in the day. And Blackjack is saying the Steelers with the black jerseys and all yellow numbers. You know what? Every time I hear that question, why are the Steelers the team that everyone always answers with that? Like that they got the best uniforms.
Black and yellow is a good color scheme.
Tradition, though, too? Like, everyone's always putting the Steelers on that list.
I like the Bumble. I like the real ugly ones. I love those.
Oh, the throwback.
You're a Flash guy, Mike.
Can I ask a follow-up rapid fire?
Sure.
Bauer, Springer, Realmuto. I said 0-3. Bauer prediction for me, Anaheim if the money allows it. What about you guys? Bauer prediction.
I have a feeling Bauer ends up in San Diego. I think San Diego is going to go all in. I think they're doubling down and going all in.
I like the West Coast. I do like the West Coast. How about it, Jim?
Yeah, I think he's going to end up somewhere out there. I was thinking L.A., San Diego, something like that.
L.A. could be it, though, too, yeah.
He's such a wild card. You never know. Like, whatever day he wakes up and whatever the way he feels, the wind blowing, I think that's how he takes his days, day by day. You know what? So –
And
I just got a feeling it's time the Angels make a move for a big pitcher now.
They struck out on Cole last year. They really wanted Garrett Cole, so I can see them going in and making Bauer kind of an offer he can't refuse. And I mean, it's a good time to be in LA right now.
And here's my last
I
rapid
guess.
fire of the day.
Who's your prediction for Bauer?
Again, I'm going to be honest. I think if he doesn't mind being in New York, Cohen will get him. But I don't know. I like Petro's idea of the Padres. I like the West Coast.
I read a crazy article that because with Stanton not opting out this year, the Marlins pay his contract. So the Yankees don't pay his contract for this year. The Marlins are paying the $30 million. So they're saying that the Yankees could offer Trevor Bauer a 1-year, like $40 million deal as like a see how he does in New York kind of situation. That's like an idea that was thrown out there because since Stanton's contract is technically off the books this year.
And Coach Riggs is saying cool. Bauer to the Mets to aggravate the Yankees. You know what? I mean,
your little brother. Your little brother.
This question to aggravate the Yankee fans. How many do you think are going to the Mets?
I'm going to say definitely 2.
Who are you projecting? Bauer, or you don't know? Just 2
I
of
would
those?
say Bauer and Springer. Because I heard the thing about, Realmuto doesn't want to go either.
Correa maybe too.
Yeah.
All right, my last question. All right. When the game is going to be on the line, say Antonio Brown comes back and he's Antonio Brown of old or close, okay? Because I know some of you guys have said you think he will be, and we'll give him the benefit of doubt that he's close to being who he was. Now, who out of that group, so you got Evans, Godwin, Gronk, Brown, who is Brady's go-to guy when the game is on the line? Who's it going to be, Jim?
Whoever's open. I was watching that game the
other
day.
But I mean, you can't say whoever's open. You got to say. I'm saying if I'm predetermined, he wants to go to one guy. Who's going to be his guy out of that group?
Mike Evans. You know what? I think if he's really going to look for somebody, he's going to look. Mike Evans is a big dude. Like he's a man-child out there. Yeah, and I was thinking about that the other day where I was kind of watching it. Godwin comes back healthy. You got him, Gronk. AB's joining it. They got the Miller, like they have Minkins, the little guy, number 85. He has a lot of people.
Plus, you got Scotty Miller that he shows up once in a while.
Sure.
Petro, who do you got?
I'm going Mike Evans.
I think each guy plays kind of a different role. We haven't even really seen the best of Brady yet because Godwin is like that underneath receiver who catches. He'll go 10, he'll sit, and he will catch everything underneath. Like Scotty Miller is going to be the odd man out here, I think. Antonio Brown, that team is going to be a nightmare to try and figure out because, I mean, someone is always going to be open because it's just going to free up.
But I'm saying if like they
I'd throw it to Antonio Brown. He catches everything.
Okay, so you're going Antonio. By the way,
Kenny, how is he getting back in the league? If you and I, if anyone on this panel
got back into the league,
talent.
Yeah, talent.
I mean, isn't it funny? We always say that, especially as sports guys. You know what? But the other
Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon. Like, what message do we send to kids? You know what? That if you do all this stuff, I mean, you and any one of us do this, we have a paper route for the rest of our lives.
See, here's the funny thing, Jim. Now,
Kurt, if Kevin Verrilli's listening.
Yeah, I know.
There was a guy last week on the Bears, Mims. I can't think of his first name because he's a nobody. He went up to the guy on the Saints.
Oh, I know.
Pulled his mouthpiece out and punched him with his helmet on.
Yeah.
That's so. But you're in the pandemic. You watch how they penalize this guy. He's lucky if he's on that Bears team, and he's lucky.
Oh, he got 2 games
because he's a nobody.
He got 2 games.
But I'm saying, laugh. He might not come back because.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. All right, couple comments real quick. This was a good question because Verrilli said Godwin. By the way, Verrilli, thank you for watching. We didn't hear from you last week. Godwin, he's going Godwin. Eddie Murphy saying Gronk or Antonio Brown. Manny's saying Godwin. Coach Riggs is saying Evans. Brady knows Evans knows his route. It's like your guys are saying, he's got so many weapons now. It's crazy.
It's going to be so scary.
I'm going to be a little different.
And Coach Breslin's answering your question, Jim.
I like Coach Breslin. I like his answer because we're like thinkers.
He gets back in because he is good at playing football. Unfortunately, it's all about winning games.
My answer, Kurt, is Gronk. If they're at the 5-yard line and he needs to throw to somebody, Evans is going to get the top corner on him So it's going to be a jump ball. Gronk's going to be that tight end getting the linebacker on.
I guess it depends, Kenny. I like your thinking, but I guess it depends. If
the situation,
question, where are we on the field?
Exactly.
You know what? If we're on our own 30 and we have to spread it out a little bit, it might be a different story. If you're closer, they're either going to go for the corner, the Evans, or Gronk underneath.
Yeah, it totally depends on the situation.
All right, Mr. Kirkpatrick, you are up with some headlines.
Yeah, let's do a little headlines and news. I got a few topics. I'll start with the first one. Our big game last week was the Steelers and Ravens, and the Steelers remained undefeated. But how long does it last? I have their schedule in front of me, and I'll read their games, and then I'll start with Petro, Jim, Kurt. You let me know how long you think it lasts, and can they possibly go undefeated? I mean, we're talking what, 8-0, 7-0 right now. So this week we know they're at the Cowboys.
Kenny, I got to interrupt you because Bob Caputo saying, "Evening, gentlemen. Do I detect an LT jersey on Mr. Sickinger?"
You do. Big Bob, maybe I'll wear this. We're going to go golfing Saturday morning. Me, Big Bob, his son, and Dougie Gold. Maybe I'll wear this on the golf course.
Beautiful.
Go ahead, Mr. Kirkpatrick.
So the Cowboys, they play this week. Then they're at home against the Bengals, on the road against the Jaguars. Then they get the Ravens at home, Washington at home, Buffalo on the road, Bengals on the road, Colts at home, Browns on the road.
And they could win all those games.
I know.
They sure could. And you don't see them getting picked off too.
They won't though.
Who do you see as a potential, like the Ravens?
I can see them losing to Baltimore. I can see Indy clipping them. Those would probably be the only two, though. I mean, I don't think Dallas will. If Dallas had Andy Dalton, I think that they would be playing a little bit better right now. But I still don't know if they'd be able to beat them.
They're tough. I think right here it's the Buffalo and laugh at the
those division. That's a lot of division games, though, right? It's 1, 2.
They have 4.
3.
Eddie Murphy saying, "Oh man, that's an easy schedule."
Yeah, outside of a couple games.
They're not going to go. I'm going to throw one out, Kenny. Petro mentioned it. You want to know mine? If I'm going to pick it, the Colts.
Yeah, it's week 16.
Week 16. That's yeah.
Yeah, Philip Rivers will let them get up like
they're
13, 14, nothing.
They're going to be 15-0.
Oh, no. You know what? I'm going to change my mind because Coach Breslin just said, be careful of the Bengals as a trap game. I'm going to pick it when they go to Cincinnati on the 21st of December.
So that's week 15.
Yeah, I'm going to go that one.
14-0, and then they lose.
Yeah.
Watch Buffalo.
What's up, Beelan?
Buffalo's the road game. What's up, Johnny? Buffalo's the road game. That's the one I would be worried about.
They're better off losing, though. You know, why get that pressure?
Who are they losing to? They're not going to lose to the Cowboys. Going over to the Steelers' schedule, John. How long could they stay undefeated?
You know Cowboys, what? Why can't? Let me ask you something, Petro. You don't think your boys could play with them? I mean, I know it's in Pittsburgh.
I think the Ravens take them in Pittsburgh.
That's Thanksgiving
night. Our defense is good, but I don't know. The only thing that I think is working in these is that it could happen is because their bye week was so early because their bye week was week 4 when their game got postponed.
Yeah, Tennessee,
so they've been playing. They're going to be playing come week 16. They're going to have played to almost 11 straight weeks. So yeah, it's going to be.
There's a reason why only one team has done it.
Yeah, no, it's true. And it wasn't even 16. And it wasn't even 16 games.
Now it's 12. Yeah.
Let's
say the Ravens would be my scare because you got.
I think the Ravens. I can see the Ravens taking them down. I mean, that game was close. You know what I mean? That was a tough, gritty, typical AFC North kind of game. So.
And then the other flip side of that game, the Ravens struggle with Lamar. A lot of people are blaming Lamar. I want Kurt's thoughts first, and then we'll go to everybody else. I watched the game. He did throw some interceptions. He did fumble the ball. He looked good on plays. He looked bad on plays. So, Kurt, what do you got on that?
Again, listen, you know, we could sit here all night, and it's the same situation. They said the stats the other day. He never beat the Steelers with Big Ben. He never beat the Chiefs, and he's 0-2 in playoff games. So, he's beaten the Bengals a lot. He's beaten the Browns a lot. You know what? I saw it all at the end of that game. Kenny, you watched it. It was 3rd and 5, quarterback draw. 4th and 5, quarterback draw. You're not going to win like that. I'm sorry. You're not going to win a championship running quarterback draws. They stuffed, you got to throw the ball there. And again,
we're going to see how good the Colts are, because Colts are a top defense, and if they can stop.
Kenny's got your answer. He's saying Coach Riggs is saying that the Steelers will lose to the Chiefs in the playoffs. LOL. That's music to Jim's ears. The Steelers. Their first
I mean,
loss.
that would probably be what? Then they would be
19-0, 18. No,
I guess that would be the AFC Championship game, right?
You'd have to go into Pittsburgh to do it.
Yep. All right, that's my thoughts. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, Jim, what do you think about it?
I think they're going to get picked off along the line. Who? I'm not sure. I mean, we've seen a lot of crazy games, even this weekend. You know what?
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, right? Like, you know what? You could see any given day. That's why they play the game. So I don't know who it's going to be. Can't make that prediction right now. But I think somebody's going to pick them off. They don't look invincible. They look good, but they're not. Where you're sitting there looking at them up here saying, they're unbeatable. I think somebody will pick them off.
Okay.
I think Buffalo. I'm going to say Buffalo.
Kenny, what's everyone else's thoughts on the Lamar question you asked?
I think so. He doesn't really have that great of weapons. He was missing Mark Ingram, so that factors in. It's not like the Steelers defense. Aren't they the best defense in football right now too? So I mean, like it's I get it. Like, and he's also the playoff record. You can't count that first game. He didn't even start that game. So like he came into that game midway through because Flacco was terrible.
No, he started that game.
He didn't start that game.
Yeah, he did. They were going to pull him for Flacco.
No.
Yes, he did.
No.
Look
they
it up.
pulled Flacco. They pulled Flacco.
Fact check. CNN fact check. Here we go.
No, I'm telling you, because they were going to put Flacco in. That was against the Chargers. Lamar Jackson started that game. I guarantee. I remember it because they kept saying, why don't they put Flacco in? And then they were saying they can't do that because they were going to get rid of Flacco and that would just destroy Lamar. But he started that game. He definitely did. But
guys, my boy Jim from Markham Up Charters is saying hello. Guys, you guys want to go on a fishing trip? Come on down this way next year.
What's going on?
I stay on the land, my friend.
The bay, it's not really rough.
It doesn't matter. I got seasick getting one of those canoes in the bay. Trust me.
What's Beelin's thoughts, Kenny?
What, Lamar?
Yeah, like is he to blame? They lost another big game.
No, listen, they had something that was working against the Steelers all game. I was texting you. They rushed for 270-something yards again.
But that rushing, see, this is my only.
Why would you continue? Why would you stop?
But I'm going to say this to you because I'm going to go back to this. They're running a similar offense to what Denver ran in 2012 with Tebow, and Denver had the number one. I mean, you're running the ball 45 times a game. You're going to have the number. Denver had the number one running offense. They couldn't score points, but they got 4 yards and 3 yards. That's very deceiving because they run it so many times. You're going to have that. They're not going to get a yard. They're an NFL team.
That's what I'm saying, though. But like you would assume if you're running it 45 times, you're supposed to get 200 yards. There's teams who could run it 45 times and they get 110 yards.
Yeah, but
who's got the 31st
Lamar
ranked?
Jackson to Tim Tebow.
John, I watched the whole game. That's the affiliate down here. He looked great on plays. He looked terrible on others. A swing pass, not even close. But then he would throw the ball on a dime. So it was very inaccurate.
But
throughout the game. I get what Kurt's saying, and I get what you're saying. He was accurate at times, but inaccurate at times. I would be a little worried if I was a Ravens fan. A little. Not a lot. I'd be a little.
But also think about it. Like, who are his weapons? His number one is Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, and I don't even think he's that good.
Like Hollywood Brown? Like,
I don't think he's that good. They really needed Antonio Brown. That was the one team that I thought for sure he was going there. I really did. I thought he was for sure going to be a Raven because that would just
But here's the thing that bothers me, guys. And again, they did it. I'm sorry, Pat. This was his rookie year. They were playing Baker when Baker was a rookie. I believe it was that year, and they had to win to get to the playoffs or something, and it was the same situation, like 4th and 6, and it's like they're calling run plays. Like you can't do that with you. You got to throw the ball on 4th down in the NFL. You just got to do it. I mean,
but Kurt, did you ever see the videos of him going for it on 4th down when Harbaugh tells Lamar Jackson, "What do you want to do?" And he's like, "I want to go for it, coach." Okay, he runs back out there on a 4th and 5th play and he scores a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Guys like Lamar Jackson on a 4th and 5th can score, can do that. Like,
absolutely,
let
him run. I mean,
especially because the whole defense is playing bad. But everyone thinks you're going to pass. So,
right, but Jim, we got this. But again, does it? And it's a telling stat because we talk about it every week with other guys. But when they come out and say never beat the Chiefs and he's never beat the Steelers, he's another one. Like, stop. Like, you can't just look at the Bengals and the Browns. Like, and so 2 playoff games, 0-2. I think he's 0-3 against the Chiefs and 0-2 and 0-3 against the Steelers with Big Ben. It's a telling stat, Jim, isn't it? I mean, that doesn't lie.
Is. You know what? I mean, you can make numbers just for instance, who has the 31st ranked run defense in the NFL?
Kansas City? Right. Means nothing.
It means nothing. It means that other teams are trying to run the ball now to keep Mahomes off the field. And it also means our run defense isn't really good, but, it needs to be an improved area. But, 31st in the league, you would figure, you look at that. People can make numbers look any way they want.
Right.
You always talk about it. Is it wins? Wins is what it is. Mm-hmm. You know what?
When you look at that team, though, that team is like, you think of only Lamar Jackson. Nobody else thinks of anybody else on that team.
Why?
When you think Ingram went downhill. Well, once he got on the Sickinger fantasy football curse, I drafted him, and he just went right down the old crapper. But you're right. Who does he have to throw to? Mark Andrews, the tight end. You know what? I mean, and you got Hollywood Brown.
But I'm going to say this one more time. But Beelan, here's my one more question, okay? And my one more comment. And we're going to take, all right. So I'll give you Tyreek Hill, and I'm going to give you, obviously, Kelsey. But let's be especially look at last year. I mean, Williams isn't nothing in the backfield. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear Sammy Watkins is good. I mean, he was a bust before he went there. Hartman's just speed. What do those guys got? They're who they are because their quarterback just makes them so much better. So, right. So you're going to tell me Mark Andrews isn't good? Ingram isn't good? J.K. Dobbins isn't good?
But he's not a Kelsey.
But you said it though. Those guys are good because guys like Kelsey and Hill get all the attention. They don't have a guy on the Ravens who could take the attention away from them. A guy like Tyreek Hill, you have to have one guy on him and one guy over the top of him at all times.
Yeah.
The Ravens, they don't even have that. And Mark Andrews, as good as he is, let's be real here. He is not a Travis Kelsey.
I agree, but I'm just saying that style of offense, though, Beelan, that style of offense, again, and we've seen it. We've complained about it from Ohio State, and we bring, it's proven. You have to throw from the pocket, and I'm going to be honest. I don't know if he's championship material to do it. You're not. You saw it in that Tennessee game last year. Once they got down, it totally threw them off, and it was it because now you're a passing team. And listen, you saw the Chiefs get down. What were they? 24-0. They were down.
Yeah.
They didn't flinch. They got down 14-0 Baltimore. They were rattled. They were done because they can't come back like that. They're not a throwing. Then he's throwing another pick, and that game got away from them. They got to stay ahead. They got to be up 7-3, 10-7 with the ball, running the ball like you're saying to get your 200 yards. They can't come back, and that's on the quarterback. You might be down 21-7.
They're going up against a top 5 defense.
Kurt, you got to remember two things. You got to remember this, and you could change the subject after this. He's getting Dez Bryant. I know Dez Bryant may not be the Dez Bryant when he was in Dallas, but Dez Bryant is going to be
catches the ball. He's
going to catch the ball. People are going to be afraid of him, no matter.
They're going to respect him.
40 years old, okay. And the other thing is, I know you hate it, but Lamar Jackson's playing well this year, man. He's playing better than – he's a top 10 quarterback in all the stats, and he runs the ball on top of it. Mm-hmm. So and he's 5-2. My team's 0-8. Your team's 2-something. Redskins I would take Lamar Jackson any day of the week with a 5-2 record.
I get what you're saying, John, but I'm telling you, I watched the game. Like, you see the stats that he has, but I watched the throws that he didn't make last week. Mm-hmm. They were bad. But like I said, but then there was other throws. That last throw of the game, that was there. That was a great ball.
I told you guys. I said it was a great throw. It was a better defense.
I think we're looking too much into it because the Steelers' defense is great, guys.
Yeah, no, they are
phenomenal.
They're the best
phenomenal.
Defense.
They're phenomenal. They're the top tier.
Hey, Kenny, we're really saying the Bears would take them.
See them do it against a good defense.
Right.
It's a big test this week.
The Bears are the most overrated team in the NFL, man. Get out of here.
But you know what, though, Beelan? Here's we're talking about schedules. You know what?
So lucky.
No, you know what, Beelan? This is the test, okay? And you know what? Not that we end it for good, Jim, but Thanksgiving night, national television, under the lights, at Pittsburgh, Big Ben's there. Petro just said that defense. You know what? You can't be 12 for 27 with 110 yards. You can't do that, Beelan. You can't do that because you're not going to run on Pittsburgh like that. You're not in that building. So you got to make plays in the passing game. Let's see if he does it Thanksgiving night. Let's see if he does it. And win the game. Win the game.
I got one more NFL topic for the week. I think it's going to be a good one, too. Dolphins win big in Tua's debut. Any shot at the division? I'm going to go over the Bills and Dolphins schedules right now. I'll do it real quick. The Bills, Seahawks at home, Chargers at home, Steelers at home, Cardinals, 49ers, Broncos, Patriots on the road. They end up at home with the Dolphins last game of the year. Dolphins schedule. Cardinals on the road, Chargers at home, Broncos on the road, Jets on the road, Bengals at home, Jim's Chiefs, Patriots at home. They end up with 2 road games, Raiders and Bills. Any shot?
They miss.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask.
Tough schedule.
7-9. They'll go 7-9.
Bill's got a real tough schedule. But what were your thoughts on Tua? The Dolphins' defense looked good against the Rams.
He didn't really even have to throw the ball down.
I'll give you my thoughts, Petro, before you get in. And I'm coming at Mr. Beelan. How bad is Jared Goff? That guy is that he has made that team a mess.
John, you knew it was coming. He
single-handedly lost that game against the Miami Dolphins because I watched that game and it was a joke. He fumble, pick, fumble. I'm saying he has made that decision to pay him has made that Ram team an absolute disaster. They're not going anywhere with him. So
I got to interrupt real quick. We forgot to do something at the beginning of the show. We got to do it while our intro's run. We got a lot of people listening. Petro had an interactive question for tonight that we forgot to mention.
Oh yeah. So everybody, give us your. It was funny because I saw a dodgeball on the other day too, and it came up again. Give me your 6 current athletes that you could build your ultimate dodgeball team with.
See, Petro, now you asked this question, but Jim, every week Elsmore in work says, when are you going to ask me the question about the dodgeball? He has some kind of answer ready for this. I might have to text him and get this. He goes, every week, when am I going to have this? When am I going to have this?
He should be listening. He's not listening.
I should.
I have 6, and I'm telling you right now, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are football players. 2 of them are baseball players.
I did go with a guy who's retired. Is that okay? He's not too old.
Yeah, you know what?
You can dodge a wrench.
Yes, you can. You can dodge a ball.
We'll answer ours around 9:30, 9:45. Okay. Audience, let's think of
so everybody give us
yours throughout the show. It'd be a nice little fun interactive question for you.
6 current athletes to build your ultimate dodgeball team.
I think Kenny, real quick. Virilli's just every quarterback we mentioned, he's just saying the Bears would take him. He said Bears would take Goff. LOL.
Daniel Jones.
Come on.
I mean, that's not much. That's not much.
Let me just end this Bears conversation, okay? They barely beat Detroit. They barely beat the Lions, the Giants. They barely beat Atlanta. Okay, they barely beat Tampa Bay. They're the most overrated team in football. Get out of here. What this? I bit myself.
No, I said it was out of fun.
Kevin Burley's going to agree with us.
They are terrible.
There's only one thing that matters: the W's.
Yeah, they won.
They do. So,
they won.
They're going to get rocked this week by Tennessee. They're going to come out hammering.
For really saying, Beelan, for really saying to you, the key word is beat. He's right. Beat.
Dude, they got the
W. Beelan's just sour because he's a Jets fan.
I'm not
kidding. I'm not messing with you, Jeff.
I have not watched the game since week 3. I'm over the Jets.
Beelan shouldn't be sour. He should only be sour if he wins.
I know you're not. I know you haven't been.
And I'll say this too, in defense of the Jets, I don't know how you can rate the Darnold kid when he's being thrown to the ground, running for his life. The only guy who's protecting him, this kid Becton. I watched the Brian Baldinger breakdowns of Becton is just tossing people out of the way.
He's an animal.
Beast. You know what? But you know what? You have the clock. There you have guys going back in the pocket. They're sitting there. This kid, by the time he gets the ball, you know who his second read is? The defensive end on the other team. You know what? Because
Jim, for really saying Bears would take Darnold, LOL. He's going to take everybody on that team.
And I really get upset when they judge kids. You know what? I watched Danny Dimes. You know what? You watch this kid play the other night. He makes these crappy passes, just not using his head. You know, the interception, stuff like that. That's decision making. You know what? How do you make decision making? By the time you get the ball and you're going into your drop, you're running. You're like. He's literally running for some. Do you see he was taking a one-step drop on most of his passes?
Jim, you must be a mind reader because Eddie Murphy's saying, Giants can easily be 6-2 if Daniel Jones didn't stare down the wide receiver the moment he snaps the ball.
Get out of here. No way.
Hey, they're in every game.
I don't know about 6-2, but
the Bears, they could have went the other way. The Buccaneers, you could say, could have been either way.
I'm sorry, but you know what? People are talking about
right there. The Cowboys, that's 4. He's not wrong.
But you know what, though, Jim? Here's the deal and the thing with Daniel Jones, and it's there's two. How many quarterbacks was it last year? It was Haskins, Locke, and Jones, right? Or was there somebody else in that rookie class?
Well, in the first round?
Yeah.
Or like in general?
Or first 2 rounds.
Jordan Love was in the first round.
No, last year.
No, that was this year. That was this year.
Never mind. Yeah, that was this year.
Was it Daniel Jones and Haskins and Drew Lock were the first 3, right?
Probably. Yeah.
All right. Well, here's
Kyler Murray.
Okay, Kyler Murray. So Kyler Murray stays. You got to say you've seen enough of Daniel Jones. Like, if you can get a top quarterback this year, see you with Daniel Jones. See you with Dwayne Haskins. And listen, Drew Lock's got 8 more games to prove to see what his is. And listen, it could be all 3 of those guys could be out the window.
Well, I don't want to really get into the Giants too much, but I talked to you before we went on the air, Kurt. We're not going to be in the running for Trevor Lawrence. We'll probably win 2 or 3 more games because we're in every game. I don't like Ohio State quarterbacks, so I don't know. I might keep Daniel Jones another year or 2. I don't know.
Fields is different, though, man. He is different. That kid is going to be so good. He's not like Haskins. Haskins was like he started only 1 year at Ohio State. It's different. It's not. He isn't anything like Dwayne Haskins. This kid. Oh man, I hope the Redskins got a shot at Justin Fields. That kid is. They got
to be in the right position. Like it doesn't matter how talented you are. You've got to be on a team where they have a game plan, what they're going to do, how they're going to build it, and whether you have weapons or not. It doesn't matter where if Trevor Lawrence goes to the Jets, he's going to be running for his life unless they draft more offensive line. You know what? People go nuts over this stuff. You're only as good as a coach. You're only as good as your players. And as a player, you're only as good as the players around you.
Right. Well, you know what?
People have to really look at that stuff. Like, you know what? If you have nobody to throw the ball to, how is that your fault? If you have no one to block for you, how is that your fault?
Right. But
Jim, once again, quarterbacks, you get paid the big bucks to make those plays. And I understand that. But people have to be realistic. Some teams have no one to throw to.
Right. No, but you nailed it. You nailed it when you just. I forgot my change. Oh, but you just nailed it where you're saying the fit. See, that is where I do give a lot of credit to Baltimore. And we said it. They put Lamar Jackson in his system because he can't. He's not going to go and play like in a Andy Reid and that. He can't do that. So he has to do what he does. So if you get Justin Fields, and he's a little different, Petro, I admit, than Haskin was, but he's kind of the same player, a little. You know, where, like, again, Trevor Lawrence, you can just put him in the Shanahan system. He'll run the boots. You put him in a passing
but Fields can extend plays, though. Haskins can't do it. His footwork is just atrocious. Fields, you see it. He passes the eye test. I'll be as crazy to say I think Justin Fields has a better year than Trevor Lawrence does next year. Because I think you don't know Trevor Lawrence, whatever team he goes to, whether it's the Jets or the Jaguars, they're just not going to be like,
you can't. That's hard to say, Mike, because right now, because you don't know what team or what system they're going to be in. Yes, you look at the intangibles, you watch them, you see, hey, Mac Jones from Alabama is climbing up the charts right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? And every week another team goes down and somebody comes up and somebody's playing. You're getting to see a lot more people. We talked about it the other day. I agree. You look at some intangibles. When you're a guy in the mound and you're a strikeout pitcher, that's you. You're on the bump. You're throwing the ball.
Jim, I'm telling you,
guys, such a team sport. You got to rely on other people.
If you guys haven't watched, Friday night is going to be an awesome game. Boise, and we'll get to it in our college, but Boise versus BYU and the quarterback Wilson there. And again, I know it's not a comparison to Patrick Mahomes, but they said he's got a little Patrick Mahomes in him. So that's another guy climbing up the boards. I saw a mock draft. He was like drafted, I think, 13th or 14th in the first round. He went up to. So.
All right, I got 2 college football questions for the news and headlines. Can we bring them up?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'll start with John on this one, and then, John, you just send it to one of us after you're finished. So Trevor Lawrence last week tested positive for COVID-19. This week, Clemson and Notre Dame face off against each other. If Notre Dame wins, A, is there an asterisk on the game because there's no Trevor Lawrence? And B, do they move ahead of Ohio State and or Alabama if they beat Clemson? If they lose, if Clemson wins, are they the clear-cut number 1 over Ohio State and Bama? So it's a 2-part question.
No asterisk. And no, they're still not the best team in football. I don't care what anybody says. Alabama's the best football team in college football, and they prove it every week, blowing people out. Okay? Clemson doesn't play anybody. This is like their really first big game that they're going to be playing all year. So, and if they lose, out of the top 5, get out of here. I don't want to hear them. I don't want to see them there. I don't care where you are. Get out of here. You're done. No asterisks, no nothing.
And I don't even want to talk about it. If Notre Dame wins, do they move ahead of Ohio State or Bama? Or are they stay number 3?
Yeah, I think they should. I think they should move in front of Ohio State. Not Bama, but I think they should move in front of Ohio State. I don't even think Ohio State should still be up in the top 4.
Oh, we're not going to get into this again this week, are we? With the top.
I'm not getting into it. I'm just saying I don't believe it.
Okay. It's a personal opinion.
I'll move up to Petro on next.
You're saying if they lose without Trevor Lawrence, you're saying?
Is there an asterisk on the game if Notre Dame wins? And
there won't be an asterisk.
They move ahead in the state.
There won't be an asterisk, but I don't know if they drop Clemson out of the top 5 without Trevor Lawrence. I don't think they will.
Okay.
They want Trevor Lawrence in the college football playoff, and they're going to do everything that they possibly can to get him into the college football playoff. And I mean, rightfully so. He's the best player in college football. Can Notre Dame jump Ohio State? It was Ohio State and who?
Bama.
No, they definitely won't jump Alabama. Who does Ohio State play this week?
Rutgers.
Oh, no, they're not going to jump either of them. I'll be honest with you. I think Clemson wins regardless, but no. Clemson will stay right put where they are regardless. They won't stay right put where they are, but they'll stay in the top 5, I think.
Okay. How about you, Jim? You got any thoughts?
I watched some of that game. Isn't it amazing? One player comes out And
what a great game!
And they're losing to Boston College. And the guy brought up a great point. There's a lot of 5-star players on that team. You know, one dude's out, but you guys got to pick it up. Usually, when a player's out, you got to pick your game up a little bit. Yeah, you know what? It should be a good game. I think I'm going to take Notre Dame. I think the freshman quarterback kid is good for Clemson, but this is going to be a big test for him. And I think it's going to stay the same, like you said. How are you going to do this? You have teams all over the place. Wisconsin may not even finish the season. You know what? And here we are talking about who's going to play who. Pretty soon somebody's going to get 2 COVID tests in a row, and they're going to have to sit out. Answer me this question, too. I know I'm the man of irrelevance. How come Saban's back after 3 days of testing COVID? The Big Ten's got a 10-game
right.
The ACC, Clemson has 10 games, and in the Big Ten, it's a 21 game, 21 days. 21 days. If you get tested positive for COVID, you have to be away from the team. It's like there's no set plan of anything. It's running roughshod.
Well, I'll tell you where I work, Jim, in the hospital. It's 2 weeks. We got to be quarantined if we're exposed.
Yeah, that's what I thought, right, Kenny? 14 days. It should be that way.
I don't know. I can't answer that question. Maybe different laws in Alabama, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's.
I don't know.
Each state is different. It's crazy.
Because you know what? If Lawrence had tested positive 1 day earlier, then he would have been eligible for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
If he tested positive on that Wednesday.
Well, he still has to get 2 negative tests in a row.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
I think it's 3. I think college football said it's 3 because Saban had 3. Saban got a negative, and a negative on game day. That's why he was able
Petro,
to.
the only thing I'm a little confused on is why. And again, maybe I was talking when Hoops goes, Dabo did the right thing, but by just coming out and saying it, okay, now the freshman kid's there. He could have just played it out. We don't know if he's going to be there. Let Notre Dame practice for both guys, no, he's not going to play. But let Notre Dame deal with the whole. Now they can just change their whole total defense. It's a totally different offense they're going to see. So I was a little shocked at that.
What are your thoughts, Kurt?
I don't think there's an asterisk. I agree. And I definitely agree with Beelan on this one because we were texting each other on Saturday. If they lost that game to Boston College, I don't care. I don't care if they lost ETN. You lose that game at home to Boston College, you're out of the top friggin' 10, man. Drop them. And you know what? Even if they lose, I think Notre Dame has a lot to lose here because you are going to get with the whole. If Notre Dame loses at home without Trevor Lawrence, how can anybody? Where can you put them? They're out. Am I right, Bailin? They're out, right?
They will drop out of the top 10 if they
out.
lose. They will definitely drop out of the top 10. And honestly, they probably won't climb back in the top 10 if they lose a game without Trevor Lawrence.
And now with Clemson, to your second part, I agree with you, Petro. I think that, obviously, I would think that the committee wants them in. So I don't know if they got to put them in the top 5 right now because you'll still have Ohio State. You'll still have Notre Dame. You're probably going to have the winner of Georgia, Florida, maybe Beelan, Cincinnati. But those teams are going to go, Clemson will get there again. So even if Clemson does lose, will they play each other in the ACC championship or are they in the same bracket?
They're separate.
So they'll play. There'll be a rematch in the ACC championship. Mm-hmm. So they'll have their shot back at Notre Dame. So even if they're 8 or 9 and then they beat them, I think they'll get back in. But I agree with Notre Dame loses, they're done, man. Notre Dame is done.
Do you guys think they're going to expand? I know in the NFL there's talk of expanding the playoff brackets. Do you think they're going to do this in college football, especially this year, given what it was?
They should have.
They should have.
No rumblings yet, right?
Nothing yet.
I know.
Why not? It's going to bring more money to the schools and everything. Why would you not do it? I don't understand.
I agree with you. I think the playoff would be awesome, but I just think the excitability of just that. How to get to those 4, those again, that championship game. So if you have Notre Dame, say you have an undefeated Notre Dame and a 1-loss Clemson, right? Both of those, that Notre Dame is going to get in with a loss, so that game doesn't matter. You're going to have an Alabama undefeated, say, versus 1-loss Georgia. If Alabama loses that game, they're going to get in because they'll be a top 8. They're not going to get in if they lose and there's only 4 teams. So that excitement, like those games aren't going to matter. That's the only thing I think they would lose. But like you're saying, I mean, having 8 teams in a playoff would be phenomenal. But the point of that, like even Cincinnati has to go undefeated to get in. But on an 8-game thing,
this is my thing with like, especially with like Clemson, right? Like this, I always argue. It's like they haven't played anybody all year. How do you still rank them number 1? Like, how are they not number like 2 or 3? Like, it's like Bama's taken out like Texas A&M, Georgia. They're playing LSU. Yeah. I know LSU sucks now, but you know they still got Auburn at the end of the year. Like, you're playing legit teams. Clemson's playing nobody.
That's mine and Kurt's. That's mine and Kurt's argument that we've been having with
SEC.
SEC is the big dogs of college football, and that's why they automatically, more than likely, will get 2 teams in the college football playoff, and rightfully so, because they beat up. It's like you said, you put Clemson in the SEC.
Oh, they're gonna have easy couple losses.
I think they at least lose 2, right? I mean, I feel like if you have a healthy Trevor Lawrence, that's different. So I mean, that could change things a little bit.
Guys,
but
real
I mean,
quick,
still,
hold on one second. I get a couple of comments.
Out.
Coach Breslin saying, "I agree." Someone was mentioning about the college playoffs. He was saying, "I agree," because there are also the possibility of an uneven number of games for sure. He's saying LSU has not lost; they were up there last year. Until they are beaten, they are still number 1.
Yeah, because who's going to have to figure this out at the end? You know, it's not like.
But you know what, though, Petro?
It does. Not a normal year.
But Petro, it matters because
this is why you need to expand the playoffs, like Jim was asking.
I think so.
Conference champion, your major conferences, and then your conferences that are gaining popularity. Your Conference USA, Coastal Carolina, your American Conference with Cincinnati, SMU fighting for a division. Your Mountain West, Boise State. You can make these teams make the playoffs, and then you can have wild card teams, your 2nd and 3rd place SEC teams, or a Pac-12 team that may.
But again, how many teams? Just look at what Petro's saying.
I say 16.
Right, 16. But they're not going to do that. That's
8.
A lot of
8
teams.
or 12. You have buys. I don't know.
By the way,
what you could too. Yeah, Jim.
Because I do have one more question when we're
I was just going to say, great trivia question. You said Coastal Carolina. What is their mascot?
It's something green, isn't it?
Hold on. Let me go ask my friend upstairs. He went to Coastal Carolina.
I think it's a bird. Isn't it a bird?
You're correct.
Hold on.
I thought it's green.
Hold on.
No.
It's green is their color.
Hold on.
But Petro, why Beelan's thinking
Penny's
about
off. Look at him.
I know. Petro, see, here's the thing. And I agree with you there.
It's not a pirate.
And Beelan's talking about who's number 1, but it did matter like last year because especially now this year, there's a difference of playing Ohio State or playing Notre Dame. I mean,
what you could do is if you want to make it 16 teams, you don't do an SEC. You don't do an SEC championship.
I got the scoop in the
You don't do conference championships, and you have the 2 teams that were supposed to play in the conference championships.
Both in it.
In it, and you do it that way, and then you rank them 1 through 16 and do it that way. That would be cool.
Yeah,
I think you could do that because then
a good year to do it.
Jim,
what is it, Kenny?
The Chanticleer.
Correct. You know what it is?
Big
hell is that?
It's like a male,
like a rooster.
It's the male version of a rooster, a Chanticleer. It's almost like a gamecock. Nobody knows what the hell it is, or a Hoya. Like you still trying to figure out.
I got one more college football question.
Coastal Carolina Chanticleers.
Then we get into Stump Kurt for the first time in weeks.
Ooh.
AP top 25. We were just talking about these other conferences. So my question is, undefeated Cincinnati, undefeated BYU, undefeated Coastal Carolina. Any shot at one of those 3, if they remain undefeated all season, talks in the college football playoff?
Yes.
Go ahead, John. You can take it if you said yes.
Cincinnati.
One or all of them?
I think Cincinnati could. Cincinnati's romping teams, and they're not allowing people to score. I mean, listen, like I said, you can have one of these teams that You get into the playoffs. It's 2 games. It's not like it's not like baseball when you're playing 3-game series, 5-game series, 7-game series. It's 2 games. You can get lucky. So you get lucky, get into the game, and call it what it is. I mean,
how about it, Jim? Do the Chanticleers have a shot? They're a great story, but
it is a great story. It's like this year. It's like the BYU every year when a team pops up like this. I mean, their baseball program is phenomenal down there. Now you're seeing their football program growing also along with it. That's pretty cool. Can't dance with the big boys. Like, you know what? You might get a seat at the table, maybe, but once again, sitting there and dancing are 2 different things. So,
all right. But Jim, let me answer this because Petro's point. Petro made the best point of the night with the SEC again. Kenny's. I don't know if he's serious, but Kenny's asking if Coastal Carolina can get into the playoff. So just say Alabama has to go through.
No, but I also asked if Cincinnati or BYU.
No, but hold on. But think about this though. Alabama's going to have to play A&M, Georgia, Auburn, LSU, Georgia or Florida again, and Coastal Carolina is playing Kansas, Campbell, Arkansas State, Louisiana, Georgia Southern, Georgia State. I don't even know who USA is. Troy. I mean, that
University of Southern Alabama.
But Kurt, my question was, well, John answered Cincinnati.
Okay.
Coastal Carolina, Kurt, was a reach. I just threw them in there because I want to get them recognition. It's a great story.
I'll go back.
Cincinnati and BYU, Kurt, is the teams I'm talking.
Kenny, hold on real quick. I'll go and I'll say this to the death of me, okay? 2006, Boise State, Oklahoma. What happened?
Yes, I agree 100%, John.
What happens in March Madness? Yep. You get a team that's ranked 2nd versus the number 15, and the number 15's in the Elite 8. What happens?
Ask Jenny Hoops.
You're terrible conference.
Stay in the basement tonight. If you ask her what happened a couple years ago, Maryland, Baltimore County beat Virginia.
That's different. I mean,
how's that different?
I'll say it. I'll answer the question. Absolutely not. None of those teams should be in it. I don't care if Cincinnati goes undefeated. They shouldn't be in it. Because if you're going to say Clemson doesn't play anybody, who the hell does Cincinnati play?
Right.
They have one ranked team on their schedule.
You want to hear it?
Granted,
big game against Houston this week.
I'll tell you, Austin, PA, Army, South Florida, SMU, Memphis, Houston, East Carolina, UCF.
But Petro, this is the thing that you can't. This is like playing like devil's advocate. It's like you can't just because one conference plays a certain way and you can romp them, and the other division plays it and they're softer. It's equal. It doesn't matter what conference. No one put these teams in conferences. They were in those conferences for a reason. Okay, it is what it is.
Now, Coach Breslin's saying only shot out of those teams would be Cincinnati. Kenny, he's saying the teams you named.
I agree with John. I agree with Coach Breslin. BYU, if they weren't an independent. But I'm afraid they're going to get some talk if they beat Boise State handily on Friday night.
I just don't know who you would bounce out of the top 4 for Cincinnati. I just really don't. Because, you're not bouncing Alabama. If Clemson, let's say Clemson
has a loss.
Let's say Clemson loses to Notre Dame without Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence
comes back. Trevor Lawrence comes back, and they win every single game.
They got to go before
35
Cincinnati.
plus. By 35 plus, you have to put them in. It's Trevor Lawrence. And then Ohio State, they're probably going to run the table, so they're obviously not going to be out. So if you got 2 undefeated, Alabama and Ohio State, they're automatically in.
Right. Notre Dame, if they go undefeated.
Right. And I just don't know who else is going to be there.
I got one quick question. I got one question for the 4 of you. We'll do this real quick, one at a time.
Hey, Kenny, just hold 1 second here. What other sport doesn't even allow you, when you really think about college football and what an elitist thing it is, listen to us talking. It's the same teams every year to get the 4 spots. So pretty much if you're anybody else, you know what? You're going into the year looking at your kids going, We can play our best schedule, our best game. We don't even get a shot. We don't even get a sniff at the playoffs.
But
you
who?
know what?
But hold on. But who? Because I'll tell you this: number 5 Georgia, they get a shot. I'll hold off Cincinnati. Number 7 A&M has a shot. Number 8 Florida has a shot.
I gotta ask my question real quick, John.
Kurt, why does Georgia get a shot when they got romped
that's
by
my question, John. Let me ask my question to the 40.
They got romped by Alabama.
What if they beat Alabama in the SEC championship?
They got romped by
But
them.
I'm saying, what if they beat them?
Let's just play the assumption game, guys. Clemson undefeated, number 1. Alabama undefeated, number 2.
Yeah.
Ohio State undefeated, number 3.
Okay.
Notre Dame ends up with a loss. Georgia has a loss. Everybody else has a loss. Cincinnati's undefeated. You know Georgia can't beat Alabama, right, guys? That's what you've been saying, Kurt. Alabama's way better than Georgia.
But wait, they're gonna play again. But
yeah, but he's saying Alabama undefeated, so then they beat them.
Okay, so what? So if Georgia has 2 losses, they're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out.
I'm saying, I'm with John. Give Cincinnati a shot if they're undefeated. It's a first-round game. They'll probably get beat, but you know what? Then Bama's supposed to play, or Clemson's supposed to play the easiest of the 4 teams anyway. It's a first-round game.
They need to open it up. You know what? They need to open this up to make it fair. Because we can put the same 10 teams in a hat, pick them out every year. The order may change slightly.
And listen, not for nothing. You look at Georgia's schedule. What they did, they beat Arkansas 27-10. Arkansas.
Yeah, but
Arkansas. Hold on. They beat Auburn 27-6. They beat Tennessee 34-21. They beat University of Kentucky 14-3.
But here's the craziest thing. If Cincinnati played Auburn, if Cincinnati played Auburn tomorrow on a neutral field, Auburn would be a touchdown favorite over them. They would. But
I would take Cincinnati though.
But they would.
I'm putting the money on Cincinnati.
What do you think, Petro? Who would Auburn be a touchdown favorite over them? Neutral field,
Auburn
Cincinnati.
Be a touchdown favorite over Cincinnati. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like you're around the, but those schools are still better than Cincinnati.
Then you know what? Then get rid of the rankings. Who cares about rankings?
No, I mean, not for nothing though. Why doesn't Cincinnati put one of those big dogs on their schedule?
Exactly. Go independent. Don't play. Don't play
it's
Army.
Not their
conference
it's
money.
Not their choice. The Big Ten wants certain teams in there. The Big 12 wants certain teams.
But independent games. They could play. Well, this year you can't play independent, but I'm saying they could play independent games.
I mean, every year, I know everybody hates the independent conferences, but every year Notre Dame is always in the conversation to go to college football playoff. They just lose. So if they run the table, they would be in the college football playoff. So these teams, and
then I got to bring something up important here, but go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I just think if these teams, they it's because their power of schedule that they're not getting the votes to get into the college football playoffs. So if you want to change that, go independent, leave your conference, and go and make your own schedule and play a Georgia and a Florida and teams like that. It doesn't have to be all teams like that.
Sorry, Petro, I gotta cut you off because this is a pandemic year, so they probably were forced not to.
No, for sure, but I'm saying
schedule. They played UCLA. They beat them 24-14. They were ranked 21. They played Miami, Ohio. They played Central Florida. They got beat by Ohio State. They were in Ohio State. They went to Ohio State.
What was that score?
They got beat 42-0, but they beat Central Florida. They beat Central Florida and they beat UCLA, Kurt.
So they are playing. UCLA is terrible, though. UCLA is terrible. They haven't been good in years.
Jim,
Ohio State was ranked number 1.
Jim, there's your videotape. You just like Oklahoma and the Big 12 teams going in there and giving up 60 to the SEC. You had your shot last year to go play the big dog. 49-0? 42-0. Just that'll be a joke.
Hey, what is happening?
Played him in Ohio State, Kurt.
What happened
when Rutgers goes there tomorrow?
I can tell you this. I can tell you this. If Florida went there, they ain't getting beat 42.
Nebraska got blown out. Nebraska got blown out by Ohio State. Everybody gets beat by Ohio State and Ohio State.
Hey, remember when it was Texas, USC, Oklahoma, and UCLA? When they were the best teams in college football.
They beat Central Florida last year, Kurt. And Central Florida was your team last year. That could have went to the playoff. They were a monster last year. They beat them.
42.
Need to expand the playoffs, boys. I'm going to say that.
They play teams. They do schedule games. Is the argument I'm making.
Got to expand the playoffs.
Next subject.
Go ahead, Mr. Kirkpatrick. What we got?
Well, real quick, we'll do just a rapid fire question. This was my last topic. This was going to be like a 30-second one.
Those
Michael Jordan bought a NASCAR team. Number 23, Bubba Wallace is his driver. Anybody interested in NASCAR? We'll see how he does over there with the NASCAR.
I think it's cool. I think the paint scheme is terrible. I think they could have done a way better paint
red
scheme.
And black. I agree.
Put the elephant print across it, like the Jordan 5s or 3s. They didn't do it. It's really plain Jane, ugly looking. But they're going to start picking up people. It's nice. I like it. It's different. NASCAR's white America. I like seeing change.
I think eventually they're going to see sponsors. Like you're going to see Jordan's logo on the car. I think it'll be pretty cool.
I agree. I thought the car.
They should.
Am I going to watch? No. But
they should put the Michael Jordan crying face on the front of the car.
That was awesome.
But that was my last topic on that. You guys ready for Stump Kurt?
Oh yeah.
Hey, do I get like a week to adjust since it hasn't been back? I mean, can we just go with just a question this week, or can we go something very simple? I still got to eat the hot dog.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing. I know. If you lose this week, do you want a dessert or do you want another food?
What's the dessert?
I think we should do.
Cheesecake.
I think we should do what I said. I think we should do the hot ones challenge. We do 5 hot sauces, and Kurt has to eat all 5 wings.
No, I can't. This is week 1. This is week
one.
I'm going to be like Cincinnati's schedule. I'm going to play Austin Peay.
I know you don't like cheesecake. How about a piece of cheesecake?
I don't like cheesecake. I'll do cheesecake.
Doesn't he not like yogurt?
I don't like yogurt.
He doesn't like cheesecake. Doesn't like yogurt. Any of those. You want yogurt or cheesecake?
Cheesecake.
Kurt, I'm going to jump right in. You ready?
Go ahead.
2-part question.
Wait, are we still doing Broncos or Knicks questions?
Yeah.
We got to stay in the guy's wheelhouse. The Broncos at one time had a barefoot kicker. All right? I want you to give me his name and what college you went to.
It was Rich Carless. I have no idea. I'm going to throw something out. Illinois.
Ooh, close. You went to University of Cincinnati.
Way to throw the Cincinnati Bears.
I should have said Cincinnati.
Way to throw it at him.
I'll go next. Kurt, name me the last New York Knicks player to win Rookie of the Year.
Mark Jackson.
Got it. Yes, you got it.
All right, well, you know what? It was our first time back.
Keep going. Keep giving me the questions.
Johnny, what was your question?
Wait, do you have one? Because I'm debating.
I didn't do one.
Kurt, bonus. Can you name me the other 2?
The other 2.
There was only 2 more.
Come on, Doug Google's out there. Doug, you know this if you're listening.
I'm going to take a while.
I mean, one of them should be an obvious one.
Is it? It's Willis Reed or Frazier? One of those 2?
Yes.
Was it Willis Reed or Frazier?
It was Willis Reed.
Willis Reed, and then the other one I'm going to say, I'm just going to throw somebody out here. I don't know. Who is it?
Patrick Ewing.
Ewing won it?
Ewing won Rookie of the Year, 1985, 1986.
Wow, I thought he got hurt.
I think we should expand the radius a little bit. I think you'll agree with this one. I think if we can add St. John's to the mix.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
for the future because he's a big St. John's guy.
I remember Jim asking me the question, or one of those guys asked me how many St. John's guys were on the team, or had got drafted
on the Knicks, yeah.
Or no, what college did the? I think the question was college.
The most drafted.
My
question was the most drafted players from what college?
And it was St. John's. Go ahead, Kenny. What do you got?
I didn't do one. I was going to have John take my place.
Right.
Kenny, this one, Kenny, this might be a little easy, but we'll see. So, which one of these players has the record for most 2-point conversions scored on the Broncos? Okay.
Scored?
I mean, most 2-point conversions they have.
We'll see if he can get it without a multiple choice.
All right.
And then we'll give him the multiple choice if he can't get it, because he already answered. He got it right, so he doesn't have to do the cheesecake this week. We gave him. I
love cheesecake. I'll eat the cheesecake.
It is good.
Me too. I gave him an easy one this week. Next week's yogurt.
They have a cinnamon.
That's a good one, Beal. And I'm gonna throw Rod Smith out there, but I don't think that's correct.
All right, I'll give you a couple names.
Okay.
Tim Tebow, Emmanuel Sanders, Terrell Davis, or Shannon Sharp.
Ooh.
I got to guess.
I'm gonna go Emmanuel Sanders.
I'm gonna say it's Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah. It is. I was gonna say
because I remember him getting one last year.
I was actually gonna say Terrell Davis because they really ran that dude into the ground. So
John is hitting his kids candy hard. These kids are gonna wake up tomorrow going, Dad, where are the Twizzlers? Gone. Where are the M&Ms? Gone.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, pull and peel Twizzlers. Oh yeah.
You can just say they had COVID. We
had to get rid of it. It was no good. I looked through it.
Want to get
Twizzlers had COVID.
I don't know. What the audience hasn't really chimed in with some dodgeball questions.
Kenny,
we want to throw a couple of bars out to tell them what it's about.
Kenny, one second. You know what I was actually doing for Halloween? I was actually going up with my son for Halloween candy. So I was double dipping.
That's all right. Beelan, you're good. You had a good costume though. You guys look good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that was solid.
All right, that was a good performance.
Let's do 2 of our dodgeballs now, and the other 3 we'll do at like 9:45.
Okay. I
got a good team. If I think I like my team. I'll go. I did 2 hard throwers. I did Aroldis Chapman. Imagine 100-mile-per-hour dodgeball coming at you. And I threw Mariano Rivera in there as the retired guy, Petro. Cut dodgeballs there. I threw Odell Beckham in there because he'll catch anything. Tyreek Hill to be the little speed dodging. Russell Wilson for accuracy. And then I threw a female in there. I threw Jenny Finch in there.
How many people?
6.
6?
Yep.
Who wants to go? And then the other 3 we could do later.
I'll wait.
I'll do mine. Okay, so I did more like small athletic guys because I feel like you can't have like super tall guys in dodgeball because then you can just kind of aim low and you'll get them. So I did my 2 baseball guys. I did Nolan Arenado. I feel like he's agile. He's got a cannon for an arm. And my other baseball guy was Fernando Tatis Jr. There was no way he was not making it on my dodgeball team. My football guys, I took Lamar, speed, athletic. I took Odell, again, athletic, can catch anything. I took Antonio Brown, small, fast, athletic. And I took Pat Mahomes, sneaky athletic. Good on.
Anybody else want to go or you want to wait?
Well, Virilli's giving his. He's going LeBron James, Christian McCaffrey, Kyler Murray, Trout, Chase Young, Jordan Burroughs.
You can't even imagine Chase Young playing dodgeball. But, I mean, that would be cool, though. That would be cool. I couldn't put LeBron on my list. He's too tall and lanky. His limbs, he's an easy target.
Mine was a little different. I went.
Petro, why don't you read the question again for those who chimed in?
Yeah, so completely random.
So everybody, give us your current athletes. Give us 6 current athletes to build your ultimate dodgeball team.
Bob Caputo saying you have to have a keeper in there.
Coach, can I go in before you?
Sure can, John. Fire it up.
All right. So I'm going to go like everybody else. OBJ, dude has glue hands, okay?
Mm-hmm.
My thrower is going to be Acuna Jr. because he can nail somebody from anywhere on the baseball diamond. Okay, Patty Mahomes, you need to have that type of gunslinging, weird sideways arm type of thing. You can see that happening.
Like that.
Someone said LeBron James. I gotta go with my boy LeBron on the team. He's the most athletic player out there possible. My wild card right here is Serena Williams.
Good one.
Why not?
So,
it's like me. I did
the sounds that she would make when throwing a dodgeball just would crack.
You need that.
Jim, you'd appreciate why I went Jenny Finch, the other hand.
Hold on.
Yeah.
And if nobody knows this, okay, because I've actually played in a kind of like a weird semi like recreational dodgeball league, okay, you're actually allowed to kick the ball in dodgeball. You're allowed to kick it. You're allowed to kick it. Cristiano Ronaldo is my boy on my team right there because he's going to take someone's head off.
That's a good way to go, Beelan. No one's.
That's true because you know what?
I didn't know you could kick. That's good. That changes everything.
He could probably take one off the chest and bounce it up and then catch it to himself because he's so good at controlling the ball. It's actually not a bad pick. I didn't think of that.
As the only ranking physical education instructor in this whole panel,
it's illegal in gym now anyway. What are you talking about?
Dodgeball is illegal because it's a violent elimination game. Now, for everybody out there, we know that rubber playground ball. We know the sound it makes. We know that when it pelts on somebody's face or the back of the thigh, the horror when that little kid's cranked up in the corner. Now, we got to play prisoner ball with those soft, squishy gator balls. Not the same game.
Not the same.
They die out after like 2 feet.
And they curve and they don't make that good sound that a good dodgeball makes.
But before you say that, we used to play a game called Steal the Bacon. That's what it used to be.
Oh,
classic.
Great game.
Classic.
Great game.
Listen,
great game.
I've been in the game 26 years, John.
That game needs to come back.
I'm gonna throw Kenny. I really don't have a team, but I would go Mahomes.
Jim's gotta give us his team, right?
No. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Kurt, you're the K and the K and K. You can go ahead of me.
Real quick, I was going to go Mahomes. I was going to go a little different with two guys, Jim. I'll add my guys to your team. I'll go. You guys are all going Beckham, but I want somebody with ridiculous hands. I'm going to go a little slot receiver. I'm going to go old school Wes Welker. Catches everything. And what you guys are saying Acuna Jr., but let me ask you this. Who had a better rifle from that outfield than Vincent Bo Jackson in his prime, throwing people out from...
Gabe Buhner.
Bo's up there, too. I mean, that guy could do... Listen, he'll catch it. He'll be athletic. He's got to be on that team somehow. So, that's my team. Go ahead, Jim.
I'm taking
You
mine.
still think Bo's got that arm at his age?
Huh?
You still think Bo's got the arm?
No, I'm saying a prime Bo.
Okay.
Going a little bit different. I got one guy who can throw hard. Going Randy Johnson. And then my next five. Do you want to stare across the dodgeball thing? Lawrence Taylor, Dick Butkus, Ray Lewis, Jack Lambert, and God bless him, Pat Tillman, who's a crazy son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think about that now. Randy Johnson,
going intimidation.
LT, Butkus, Ray Lewis, Jack Lambert with no teeth.
What would you call that team, Jim?
Pat Tillman. My man, Pat Tillman.
What would you call that
great
team?
You know what?
Cocaine and killers.
Could you imagine trying to get, like, you pick up a ball and you look up, and there's Ray Lewis 5 feet away from you. You'd be scared to death.
And you know who the coach of that team would be? Buddy Ryan. Imagine Buddy Ryan coaching
exactly.
that team.
You know, put Buddy out there. Buddy be on the sideline drinking it up.
Petro, we should have added a head coach.
Yeah, add a coach.
Buddy Ryan.
My coach would be Bill Cowher. I feel like he's built to be a dodgeball coach.
I got the best one here. Pete Rose.
We're really saying Ditka.
Ditka would be a good.
They would be no. Ditka would have to be against Buddy Ryan. They'd have to be playing each other, be killing each other.
It'd be classic.
I'm taking one of two. I'm taking either Wally Backman or that guy who was in the minor league Braves where he's throwing grenades.
Oh, Wellman.
The grenades.
Yeah, Wellman. That was awesome. So, yeah, I'm basing my team on intimidation, and then hopefully they could just stand in front of Randy Johnson throwing his pellets with a rubber ball. My boy Pat Tillman was crazy too. I could see him just eating one in the face and just getting up and saying, "Okay, come on, let's go."
Our team has so much swag.
It does a little bit. I went in a little different direction.
You should pitch that reality show, like a retired sports player.
Listen, I've been saying it. What we should do is Team USA. We take these guys and we send them to the Olympics and we build the ultimate handball team. There is no way if we took our best athletes and we gave them a couple months to practice, there is no way the guys in England and Sweden would beat a Team USA handball team with our best athletes. There's just no way possible.
Wait, guys, we're getting a couple.
Coach Breslin.
We're getting a couple teams. By the way, we're really saying his coach would be the guy from the Bad News Bears. What was his name in the movie?
Buttermaker.
Buttermaker.
He'll be drinking on the sideline.
Buttermaker drinking the beer.
Go ahead. Caputo saying Fred Biletnikoff and his stickum. Go ahead, Jim. Read up Coach Breslin's.
I like Coach Breslin. Well, you know what?
Read it out.
It's the offensive. It is the Hogs. Russ Grimm, Joe Jacoby, Mark May, Jeff Bostic, George Stock with the coach Joe Bugle. Mm-hmm. Team chemistry and intimidation.
Nice.
That is awesome. Hey, you know what's funny? You bring up Pat Tillman's name, and everybody's familiar with the story. I do follow his site, and I do donate to the Pat Tillman Foundation. Could you imagine anybody like in today's football just saying, "Hey, you know, I'm going to walk away from a contract because I'm going to go into the military"? You know what? Think about what that cat did. You know, just walking away from something like that. You know, we got guys who are selfish, working. You know, this, that, everything else. We're talking about bad guys in football, and here was a guy at the top of his game with a contract for the Cardinals sitting right there for him, and he said, "You know what? 9/11 happened. I'm going to go be an Army Ranger." That's pretty cool. You know, Jack Tatum. Whoa. Kevin really just brought up Jack Tatum as a volleyball.
Imagine him.
He was from Passaic, New Jersey.
Yeah.
You know that? Yeah.
I did.
A couple players from Ironhead. Hayward was in Passaic.
Sure. I still remember, and I think Coach Breslin, remember Bob Caputo when Jack Tatum hit Darryl Stingley on the Patriots and paralyzed them. You know what? He would have to hand his whole contract over these days. Pat Tillman was awesome. Coach Breslin. See, we think a lot of like Jack Tatum paralyzed the dude and then just stood over him. You know what? Hey, another thing too. Kurt, I'm going to go to you on this. These random thoughts that pop up. How come anytime somebody touches a face man, there's a penalty, but yet a running back or a guy can run and just steer a guy by his face and push him like that, but there's no penalty?
Well, you know what? Let's see Coach Breslin answer that question. That's a good one for Coach.
Right, you guys see that every week, right? Offensive guys just stiff-arming somebody right in the mask.
Jim, he's a defensive guy. So you know what? He's at the disadvantage on that because, like you're saying, he's coaching the defense. You touch anywhere near the face mask, it's a penalty on his defense. But his guys could just get stiff arm left and right, no problem. Coach Breslin, what's his thoughts on that?
Full. I mean, you guys see that, right? Or am I just nuts?
They definitely it's definitely an offensive game these days, obviously, and includes penalties. You know,
we're really saying can't grab, can just post with open hand.
Yeah, I mean,
so
yeah, but still, I mean,
you want to take over and do the college picks? Or
let's start. We're gonna start NFL picks, right?
Whatever you want to start with.
Yeah, let's do NFL picks. You got the results because Kenny, I'm going to be disappointed because you were harping on me all week saying you're going to have results. Oh wait, Coach.
No, I misplaced the paper, but I knew that. I know this. I will find it before the end.
Oh my God, Coach Breslin.
But I will tell you this:
as long as you don't grab it,
you're 0-1, and John and Coach, you're 0-1 because you all took Rutgers as your upset. Petro and I are 1-0 in our upsets with Texas.
Yeah, we took Texas.
So I know that much. I will find the paper before.
While you're looking for the paper, Coach Breslin did answer the question. He says, as long as you don't grab it, it is legal from a running back perspective. We have to teach to hit the arm down for the stiff arm. I'll tell you though, how crazy is Henry's stiff arm? Is that just nuts?
Oh, he just.
I couldn't imagine. Can you imagine playing that dude in high school?
No.
Like just seeing someone like that behind the line, like not for nothing. Like I feel like I see the high school kids now. They're so much smaller than we were in high school. Like I feel like my class, we were like bigger kids. I couldn't even imagine like what it was like having to that guy with a 3-yard head of steam running at like a high school kid. I just couldn't even imagine. No wonder why they said he averaged like 250 yards a game in high school.
Yeah.
Did you see, Mike?
Like that's low. It should be 400 yards. What a loser.
There was a 6'2", Mike, a 6'2" kid. You see it on YouTube? 6'2", 10-year-old.
Oh yes, yeah.
You see that big kid?
The kid that just stands there.
Found the standings, guys. I found the standings.
How the hell can this kid be playing? Little kid, he's going down the field swatting them like they're flies.
Yeah. I mean,
the
one
like Billy
picture,
Bob heading for the end zone.
That one picture when they're coming out for the coin flip and they brought Mark Ingram back for the one game. He makes Mark Ingram look like a tiny human being. And Mark Ingram is a Heisman Trophy winner. He ain't no small dude. And Derrick Henry just is he's a monster.
For real, Breslin's saying, yes, he's not fun to tackle. Really saying his forearm's like a tree trunk.
Kurt, fellas, I found the standings.
Go ahead.
Good man.
John, Petro, and Kurt, 2-1. Me and Jim, 1-2. Petro and I are 1-0 with the upsets. The rest of you guys are 0-1.
All right.
So we're real close.
I make my money in the pro game, Kenny. That's where I make my money.
I'm ready for this week.
All right. You want me to start, Kenny, or can I give you mine?
You're running it, Kurt.
All right. So I'll give you. You know what? No. Let's start with Beelan. Give me Kenny. You're writing these down, right?
Go ahead.
We're doing college or NFL?
NFL.
NFL. All right.
Well, you want me to get back? You want me to come back to you, Beelan? I can come back.
No, it's fine.
So three, and then an upset. We're taking with the points, right?
Yeah, and then one outright upset, Kenny.
One outright upset.
Wait, Kenny, was that our pro scores last week or college?
That was college.
Oh,
I'll do mine if you.
wait. Are we doing college or NFL?
Yeah, what are we doing now? What are we doing?
NFL.
Oh, NFL. That was college last week. I gave you the college record.
All right, so what's our record?
What's our record NFL?
Now you asked me to find the NFL. I don't know if I did NFL.
Sure you did.
I did.
Kurt doesn't do his homework. Wow. Kenny doesn't do his homework. The K and K don't do
K and K in this show.
I got it.
Jenny Hoops does it on the high school one, though, Beelan.
I know.
Ooh, shots fired.
He does it Saturday.
2-1, 0-1. You had the Lions as your upset.
Okay.
Myself, 1-2, 0-1. I had the Patriots as my upset. Beelan, Chargers wrong, Titans wrong, Colts correct, Falcons was correct. So he's 1-0 and 1-2. Petro, Seahawks correct. Tampa Bay -10 was wrong. Tennessee was wrong. Steelers upset correct. So 1-0, 1-2.
Guys, Bob Caputo saying be safe, guys. Jim, stop down at the range on Saturday. I'm opening up.
You know what? I told his son earlier that I only have a certain amount of swings in my golf bag. I'm not wasting any on the range. Just go up to the first tee, Big Bob, grip it and rip it. Let's go.
So, Jim, you were 1-2 and 0-1 as well. You were right with the Chiefs. You were wrong with the Bucks and Titans. You had the Bears as your upset.
Oh, I don't know if I like any upsets this week.
First thing I look for, who's
we're on NFL, right, Kurt? You said
we're on NFL. I'm ready if you guys want me to start.
I'll go first because I have mine literally right in front of me. I'm gonna take Packers -7. I'll take the Thursday game. I'm going to take Baltimore -1.5 over Indy. And
where are we looking at these spreads?
FanDuel.
I'm on FanDuel.
I'm on FanDuel too.
And I'm going to take Seattle -3 against Buffalo. And my upset, I'm taking the New York Giants over the Washington football team. Please just beat us. Come on. Beat us.
Beelan, go ahead.
I'll be.
All right, I'm going to take the Cardinals 3.5 over the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Seahawks 3 over the Bills. And then I'm going to take the Falcons 3.5 over the Broncos. and then we're doing straight up upset, right?
Yep.
Man, it's a toss up right here, but I'm going to go with the Raiders over the Chargers, 1.5.
I got your Falcons. I need the Cardinals point spread and your third team. I missed that.
Cardinals 3.5.
Okay.
What else?
What was the third one? I'm sorry.
I said the Falcons were the third one.
I got the Falcons, Cardinals, and your Raiders as upset. I'm missing somebody.
Oh, the Seahawks -3.
Gotcha. Jim or Kurt, you want to go?
Jim,
fire it up, Kurt.
All right, I'll go. I got Tampa Bay Sunday night -4.5 over New Orleans. I agree with Beelan, Arizona -3.5 against Miami. And I think I agree with Petro. I think he picked Baltimore -1.5 at Indy. And my outright upset are my boys going into Atlanta and defeating Beelan's Falcons outright Sunday. Mr. Sickinger.
All right, going to start off with the Chiefs. They're going to take Carolina and beat them up pretty good. I think we got enough stuff in the package for Le'Veon Bell, so I think we're going to be good this week. McCaffrey's going to come back. He's not going to be, 100%. So I got that one. I got the Cards over the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
I got 4.5. What do you have?
3.5.
Whatever. I'll live dangerously. I have the Bucks
4.5
over the Saints. Kurt, I'm going with your boys.
That a boy.
I'm going with your boys as my upset special.
And I missed one, Jim. Is it Seahawks? Did you take?
No, I took the Chiefs, Cards, Bucks.
Cards. That was it.
And then the Kurt's guys are going to just.
I'm going to come right out. Giants have covered just about every game minus the 49ers. I'm taking the Giants in my first bet with the points. Was it 3 they're getting to Washington?
Let me get to the board.
Be really surprised.
3. Giants are 3.
This could be the best bet of the week. I think the Giants are going to take it to Washington. I'm with you guys with the Cardinals. I think it's another blowout. I think that line's too low. I'm against a couple of you guys on my next pick. I like the Saints. I think the Saints getting those points, kind of like Steelers and Ravens. I think it's going to be like a field goal game.
Okay.
So I'm going to take those points. And there must be something in my iced tea because my upset, John, don't fall off your chair. The Jets are going to beat the Patriots.
Where's that game?
Wow.
MetLife.
Okay.
They're not going to go winless this year. This is the one game they can win.
Wait, who took the Jets? What did I miss?
I said there's some vodka in my drink.
See what happens when you leave the room?
Hey, that's fine.
This is one game they can win. The Patriots are down right now, and they got no receivers. They're trying out Dante Moncrief for goodness sakes.
And it is kind of crazy that they're only catching 7. I mean,
I could see this being like a 10-7.
He hasn't done anything in 2 weeks.
There's no way Belichick is going to lose to the 0-8 Jets.
Oh my God.
True.
I know my bold prediction a couple weeks ago was they would cover against Buffalo, and they played good in that first half against Buffalo at home. They were up 10-0 in that game, and Buffalo a lot better offense than.
Yeah, and then the Jets had 4 yards in the second half.
I know. I don't know. This would be the only time if they don't win this week, they're going 0-16. This is their one chance.
Let's get to some college.
The Redskin Giant game is such a toss-up that Redskins -3 is plus money. Like that's like you like rarely see stuff like that.
See now, Petro, you're gonna think I'm absolutely nuts when I say this. I honestly think with Allen quarterbacking, I think you guys can win that division. I really do.
Oh, I mean, well, yeah, and not for nothing, the Jets would be 2 games.
I mean, you watched Philly. You think Philly was impressive Sunday night? Philly wasn't impressive.
I mean, we beat Philly with Haskins.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, I just don't want to win the division because the way that now they restructured everything. So if you make the playoffs, you're automatically, no matter what your record is, you're automatically the
in that 16th, playoff team draft.
16th, yeah, which sucks.
Right.
I don't want that. Why would I want that? To get bounced out of the first round of the playoffs and
you would get a home game though.
Yeah, but we're not gonna. No. I want Jamar Chase.
There you go. All right, let's get to a little college, Kenny.
College, and then I know Jim had a nice little topic.
We'll get all right. Let's do college quick. We gave our records out, right?
Yeah, I gave you the records, right? You guys Kurt, you got them written down, or I need to keep these papers? Keep it on the big board over here.
You keep them on your big board.
All right, I got them written down. You guys remember your records, right?
Beelan's going first.
Going first? I can go first.
All right, go ahead. Go first.
I'm going to go BYU. I don't know what the spreads are.
2.5.
Because I don't go off FanDuel.
Because it's on my list.
BYU, I think, was +3.
BYU's -2.5.
-2.5.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to still take BYU minus the 2.5 statement.
They're 7-0 and ranked 7th.
Yeah. Boise, though, I thought was a top team, too. So. But they only played 1 game, so I'm still taking BYU. My second game, I'm going to ride the Cincinnati Bearcats till they show me they're not a top team.
They are 13.5, I believe.
I'm going to take it. My third team, I believe in this team, Indiana against Michigan.
What is that?
They
2.5.
Getting how many?
2.5.
Yep, love it. My upset. It's a pretty big upset. I wish I would have went my upset last week. It was Michigan State, by the way, guys. My upset this week, Pac-12, catch this team. Could be an overrated team. Give me Arizona State as my upset.
I had a feeling someone was going to take that game. Okay. Herm Edwards too, right? Herm Edwards, Arizona State coach.
What is it, 10, Kurt, or 11?
10.5.
10.5. Petro, go ahead.
Okay, so I am going to take – I'll give you my upset first. My upset, I'm going to take Florida over Georgia.
Let's do this real quick. What's the rule, Kenny, with an upset? As long as they're getting anything?
Yeah. After this week, guys, a 3-point underdog or higher.
Okay.
Perfect. So Florida's 3.5.
Good.
Florida's 3.5 anyway.
Florida's
so
good.
I'm cool with that. So I'm going to take that game. What was the other game? I'm going to take Miami, Florida minus 10.5 over North Carolina State.
That's a good one. I love that game.
I'm going to take. I'm going to take Clemson minus 5.5 over Notre Dame.
Coach Sick, what do you got?
I missed one. How did I miss one again? I got Florida as the upset.
Miami
and Clemson.
Miami, Clemson. Did I not do it? Did I not say
maybe you didn't
one?
do a third one.
I don't think I did do it. I don't think I did do a third one. And I'm gonna take. I'll take Texas minus 6.5 over West Virginia.
Coach Sick, what do you got?
I'm going to take Rutgers plus 38.
There you go.
I'm going to take Oregon minus 11.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take SMU giving 17.5. We doing 3 or 4?
Now you need an outright upset. You don't want to take Rutgers in your outright upset?
Jim, take Notre Dame. You said Notre Dame.
All right. I'll take the Fighting Irish.
I like it.
Beelan?
Oh boy. All right. We're going BYU.
Attaboy.
2.5. I'm gonna take, man, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go all little guys here. I'm gonna go Cincinnati 13 points.
Boy.
And I'm gonna go with Notre Dame plus 5.5. And my straight not underdog pick.
Outright upset.
I upset Indiana over Michigan because Indiana's my team this year.
I like that quarterback for Indiana, that lefty. That's a sleeper. I don't know if he's coming out this year. I don't know his status. What is he, a junior?
Penix.
Not sure.
He is good. He's going to be good. Kurt, you're up.
All right, I agree with you guys. I'm going to go BYU minus 2.5. And then these new next two games, you're going to laugh at me because the points are crazy.
BYU.
But I'm betting against the two worst teams in the country. I'm taking Marshall against horrendous UMass, 44.5. And the worst team in the country might be Kansas, and Oklahoma has to beat teams now big. I really think they might score 60 points this week. 37.5 Oklahoma. And my outright upset, I was going to take Arkansas, but that's only like a point, so I will go with Petro's Florida Gators. He's with Florida. I'm going to take Florida too outright.
John, he never learns with these big spreads.
So what? So Cincinnati. If Cincinnati wins, Cincinnati's gonna be a top 14.
If Cincinnati wins,
yeah, and Georgia loses.
Stoking the coals. I like it.
Staying.
Although, yeah,
no, Florida jumps them. Florida jumps Cincinnati.
Yeah, Florida would only have one loss. Now,
yeah.
Right?
Can't. I don't know.
Who's Florida's lost to though?
A&M. They lost to Texas A&M at A&M, like close by like 3 or 2 or something like that.
It's tough.
So you guys want to hear just real quick before you get into the new thing. So my buddy told me about this. He think I should do this. So last week I did a 10-team parlay. Okay, I did all alternate bets, all underdogs. Had the 10 games that I picked at a plus 24.5. Okay, went 10 for 10. I hit $500 to win 385, and they all covered.
Wow.
Only 24.5 on every game.
Every game was 24.5 points.
What was your closest game?
Here I have it. Actually, I have it open.
It was probably Denver at one point.
The Colts game.
Oh,
it was 40. Ended up 41-21, and I was like, oh, these guys are gonna stop scoring in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is the deal?
That's crazy.
But yeah, and I'm doing it again this week. I got a 10-team parlay.
That's a great bet.
We need to put our best bets together.
We do.
We have 2 best bets. There's 5 of us. And that's a 10-team parlay.
By the way, Kenny, I saw breaking news today. It said Maryland passed the yesterday passed the gambling thing.
That's right.
I saw
Beginning
that.
of the year, baby.
Oregon.
Just in time for the playoffs.
Oregon passed.
But no, you guys, besides John, Petro, if you or Kurt want Rutgers, that game, I can do it for you guys.
No, I'm not touching that game. I think
or anything New Jersey in the future.
All right, what's next, Mr. Kirkpatrick? Is this
Jim had a couple of good topics? Jim, you want to bring a topic up for the panel?
Yeah, I had 2 of them. I remember one. I don't remember the other.
Hold on, I got your text.
I got the top 10, the top picks. Oh my God!
You said the draft people. The draft. You were going to do the redraft or the review.
Yes.
Last year's draft class.
Yeah, I wanted to go over last year's draft class a little bit. And just hey, let's just take it from the top and go right down. 1, 2, and 3. Burrow, Young, Okudah. How do we think they're doing?
Good, Don. You can start.
Burrow's playing okay for his team this year. A lot of his stats are garbage stats. You know, I mean, again, he's on a team that's got no defense, so he's going to be playing a lot more on offense. It is what it is. I don't think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. I think Herbert's going to take Rookie of the Year.
Petro.
Chase Young.
Let Mike. That's Mike's team. Why don't you give us a Chase Young analogy?
So I saw that Chase Young right now is the highest rated rookie defender in all of NFL. So I think Chase Young is working out pretty well. I think the hip flexor that he had that he missed the 1.5 weeks. I think that might have slowed him down a little bit because the opening week he came out the gate hot. He had like 2.5 sacks in that one game. He was an animal. And I think right now, actually, I think he's kind of managing his reps because we're kind of rotating Ryan Kerrigan with him a lot. It's kind of in a way. I mean, it's not a lost season because of our division, but it kind of.
You're happy, like you said, for him being the number 2 pick.
I don't think I would have taken anybody else. I mean,
well, let's go to the next one. Jeff Okudah is number 3. I don't think any of us have watched Detroit play. Has anybody?
Haven't watched.
Then we got Andrew Thomas. What do you got on Andrew Thomas? What do you think, Ken?
Average. I mean, the kids had to move over to the left side. He was a right side tackle for Georgia. He's had to move to the left side. I'm starting to see him get better. He looked good against who they play? Not Tampa. Who they played a week before against Philly? He looked good. Or not Philly. Tampa. He's showing some signs. He looked good. I forget who he looked good against, and he looked terrible against somebody else.
He ran over somebody the other night and just dogged him into the end zone.
He's going to be all right. What I think the Giants need to do in the future, they're going to have a top 10 pick. Get your left tackle and build your offensive line like the Cowboys did and run Barkley to the ground behind a strong offensive line.
All right. Next 3 guys. We have Tua, who was 5. Herbert was 6. Derek Brown on Carolina defensive tackle was 7. So really the 2 quarterbacks are the highlight of this.
Take Tua, Kurt.
Again, you only saw him one game, but again, I think it was the right move putting him in for Fitzpatrick now, and you got to see what he could do.
Do you think if Miami did it over again, they would have taken Herbert?
Yeah.
I think so too.
I
like that kid. I liked him last year in Oregon. The guy I teach with was just like, they're up in Oregon. I said, there's just something about that kid I like. Just watching him sling it all over.
He's got the highest ceiling out of all the.
He came.
Sure doesn't he?
The thing is, he can't. If he would have came out,
he would have been number 1 last year.
He would have been the number 1.
He would have been number 1. Yep.
Yeah.
Easily.
You know what?
Number 1 pick.
Jim, you know what I heard, Jim? Real quick, I heard they were talking on one of the shows, NFL Live or something. They were saying, again, if Miami started losing, they're 4-3 or whatever, and they get like say a top 6 pick, just say if they lose the rest of their games, they said that they think that if Lawrence or Fields, if they had a shot at one of those 2, to draft them and they would trade Tua. 3 people on TV were saying the other day that that's what they would have to do.
They'll never have a shot at either of those.
I know. They were just saying if for some reason they got up there,
4 wins is too many.
Yeah,
it's
too many.
Yeah, we won't go there. Derek, next one, 7, 8, 9, 10 was Derek Brown, defensive tackle, Carolina. Isaiah Simmons, C.J. Henderson, Jedrick Wills Jr. on Cleveland. Nothing really good. Now we come up to number 11.
Isaiah Simmons, I wanted him on the Giants. I mean, they were talking about, somebody was saying they might.
He made a big
trade him at the deadline. So I don't know what's going on over there. You don't see too much of Arizona on TV. Which is sad because that's a fun team to watch,
Right. John, number 11, Becton. Guy's a beast.
I actually just read something last night, late night, when I was reading some news after they traded away a bunch of people. But he is 7th among all tackles in the NFL for pass block win rate. So
fantastic.
And that's wait till he gets coached up a little bit more.
John, you wouldn't have taken CeeDee Lamb over him now?
Oh, we're going to get to CeeDee Lamb in a little bit because I have some feelings on that also. 12, Henry Ruggs on the Raiders. Tristan Wirfs
Word.
I think that was.
Why don't Jim and Kurt take the Henry Ruggs? That's your AFC West.
Go ahead, Jim.
Kurt, you could take it.
Again, I think it was a good pick for the Raiders. I don't know if he's going to be I think any one of those three receivers, if you like them, I think it was a good move. But listen, he's like a little Tyreek Hill for that team. Like he scored 2 weeks ago. He scored over the top, whoever they played. I forgot who it was, but had a big play, and I don't know. I think he'll be okay over there.
All right, but it's funny. Like he was the first receiver taken. We jumped down a little bit. You got Jerry Jeudy at 15, A.J. Terrell at 16, and then C.D. Lamb at 17. All right?
Yeah.
C.D. Lamb is, once again.
That kid is a baller.
But he doesn't have anybody to throw him the ball, which goes back to what we were saying in the beginning. If you don't have anybody to throw you the ball, it's going to look like a bust. You didn't have until you really look into it and say, Christ, you know what? They weren't throwing him the ball a lot in the beginning. Why do I know? Because he's on my fantasy team. And I had to bench him a couple times because he wasn't getting the ball thrown to him. And, and then when he was getting it, it was barely garbage stuff. So, you got Jeudy. Let's take Jeudy at 15. Let's back up a step. Kurt, are you happy with him so far?
I am happy. I'm going to be honest. They didn't, again, Locke was hurt, but the past 2 weeks, last week, I think he had like 12 or 13 targets. And, I think he's going to be special. His route running's exceptional, and they're getting him the ball a little more. So I'm very happy with that.
I think Cortland Sutton really hurt him too.
Well, yeah,
now he's starting to get
for sure. If you have Cortland Sutton,
he's your number two.
He's not drawing the number one corner. He's not drawing double teams. Yeah, that hurts.
Those things all play into it. Trust me, right?
Kurt, you'd still take Jeudy over C.D. Lamb after seeing C.D. Lamb?
Yeah, but it's like, honestly, I would be happy with both of them, to be totally honest.
Yeah,
I think
it's close. I don't think Henry Ruggs is in their league though. I think after seeing the three, I think it's Lamb. Lamb is 1. Jeudy might be like 1A,
and
Ruggs is probably like right after them.
And I'm going to bring this point up too, because you know what, when you talk about like the next couple of kids, the kid on Philly, Jalen Reagor.
Yeah,
he was the next receiver taken. Then it was Justin Jefferson out of LSU, was up in Miami. Up at Minnesota. And then the kid, I can never say this kid's name. The kid on San Francisco, Brandon Ayuk.
He is.
That was my sleeper coming. I was like, that was a sleeper.
It's such a crazy receiving class. Jim, by the way, Coach Breslin saying the Buccaneers got Wirth and that safety. What's his name? Wingfield, right?
Antonio Wingfield Jr.
Wingfield. How great are those two picks?
Did you?
What's funny? And then right after San Francisco took this kid as a receiver at 25, the next pick was the Packers taking Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? And then you go Brooks, Patrick Queen, and then you go down the list. Then you get to the end of the first round, and some team called the Chiefs took some Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I don't know who. Come on, let's be honest. Clydro is a stud.
Mm-hmm.
I said it before they drafted him. What a great pick that was.
Yep.
Just an outstanding
All right, Jim, I got a question for you. Looking back at it now, what do you think is your biggest weakness on the team?
Defensive line.
All right, if you could have got, say, the fourth best defensive lineman, whoever it was, say somebody slid down there, would you take, and you could have Le'Veon Bell the whole year from day one, Le'Veon Bell and a pretty much a legit defensive lineman?
No, Mike,
or Edwards-Helaire.
Let me take that back, Kurt. Our cornerbacks. You know what? The defensive line, I know we got Chris Jones.
I was going to say DB. I think DBs
is probably our thing, but our run defense is just, you know what?
Lost Kendall Fuller. That was a big loss.
All right, so right now you could redraft. You take an Edwards-Helaire or Wingfield, the safety from Tampa?
Edwards-Helaire, because that was a need. With Damian Williams opting out, because we're okay defensively. Like, we're okay.
But you could have Le'Veon Bell from day one.
One guy he's been hurt.
Winfield and
we got our guy.
That would be sick, right, Beelan?
And Honey Badger's contract is up this year, isn't it?
He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you took Winfield, you would be able, because you're going to have it's going to be one or the other. I think it's going to be Matthew or Tyreek Hill. You're not going to be.
I was just looking at our offensive. We drafted that kid out of TCU, Nang, and he's still hurt. He was supposed to be our offensive lineman. The kid that we got He's hurt right now. The cornerback, L'Jarius Sneed, awesome. You know what? And we got Mike Dana. Like, all of our draft picks have hit this year, which I was very happy.
What's that kid from Mississippi State doing?
Oh, Willie Gay. He's running all over the field like a maniac right now. He's worked his way. He started. You know, so that's our first, up to, Clyde was the first round. And then
Edwards-Helaire was a great pick for them, though.
It worked out well. It really worked out well. And then it was funny. Then you go T. Higgins. I'm just going second round. Michael Pittman Jr., DeAndre Swift. Names that are popping up that are doing pretty good. Jonathan Taylor. Antonio Winfield Jr. went 45 to Tampa.
How about
Chase Claypool went 49 to Pittsburgh.
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, he was right? That was a steal.
And one guy who didn't get drafted, and no one's gonna say his name on this board, James Robinson out of Jacksonville.
Yeah, crazy, right?
But Beelan, you know what's crazy? Because like Petro was just saying, like how he's saying it's Lamb and Judy, or Judy and Lamb and then Ruggs. You're still, as good as Jefferson is, you're still not, there's no way you're still taking Jefferson over Lamb or Judy right now. Would you guys, anybody take Jefferson over those two?
Well, Kurt,
no, I wouldn't take
Jefferson. Jefferson is literally a replacement Diggs, just a taller, guy. Yeah. He's gonna be like that his whole career. He's not gonna be a Judy. A Judy and a Lamb is gonna be a guy who could potentially get 80 to 100 receptions a year. Justin Jefferson is not gonna get that. He's gonna get like 60, 60 to 60.
Justin Jefferson is a poor man's Odell Beckham. That's exactly what he is. I think the best pick of the draft was at the spot they got him was the Colts, Jonathan Taylor. That was such a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for a team that needed a running back,
they wound up needing him because what's his name got hurt. Who was the starter?
Marlon Mack.
Yeah.
So.
No, that was good.
So, that's just a little something I just want to throw out at the draft kit. The draft class this year.
It was a good class, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
it was a special wide receiver draft for sure.
It's going to be even better. It's going to be just as good next year too. Wide receivers.
There's a lot of great sleepers next year. I don't want to. He's not a sleeper, but running back's not going to go early. Travis Etienne's going to be just like Edwards-Helaire. Somebody in the 20s is going to get him next year, and he's going to be a beast.
And you know what they said, Kenny, is that he does not have a lot of mileage because he doesn't get a lot of carries over there.
No,
he really doesn't.
Because they throw it.
They throw it, and then they're out by the third quarter.
The receiver from LSU, Chase.
I got one for Petro because you mentioned you want Chase, right? Or Beelan, you're another guy because you guys need weapons too. But Waddle coming, what's his name? Waddle from Alabama coming off of whatever ACL. Would you take a shot with him in a top 10, top 15 pick?
No.
If you can't get Chase?
No.
Petro?
Beelan's not
honestly.
They're going to get Trevor Lawrence most likely.
I want there's three guys in my head that I want realistically because of where I think we're picking. I don't think we're going to have a shot at Fields or Lawrence because I think Fields and Lawrence probably go 1 and 2. So I think if I had to rate the three guys that I want Jamar Chase, I want Patrick Surtain Jr., the corner from Alabama, who I think is going to be an all-out stud, or I want the quarterback from North Dakota State, Trey Lance. I think he's going to be fantastic. I think he's going to be such a good quarterback in the NFL. I think his game is built for the new NFL. So that's my wish list.
Okay, Jim. What else? You got anything? Anything? We got a couple minutes. You want to go one more topic?
You know what? What was the? I don't even remember what the other one was.
The other one, Jim, was about Trevor Lawrence, his stock dropping.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, what do you guys think? I've seen a lot of stuff over the last couple of days well, first they said it came out as his Heisman chances have dropped, which are pretty realistic given it's a numbers type situation and he's going to be missing 2 games. Also, too, guys are rising. Mac Jones, his name has really popped up a lot. The kid from BYU's name has popped up. I mean, here was a guy who was dead clad. They could have gave him the Heisman in the beginning of the season, and how crazy this year is. Things have changed. Just getting COVID knocks him out 2 games. Boom, there goes your Heisman. And
And in a big spot, too. National television, 7:30 versus Notre Dame. That game, you know?
I'm sure the network people aren't real happy about that one. They were probably, licking their chops over, having him there and going at that. I mean, is Clemson still a good team? Yes. They should be able to.
The Heisman bothers me, man, because the Heisman's like one of those like awards where it's more legitly independent out of all the MVP awards and all the sports, and yet it's still only given to like the top tier guys that the teams are in the top 10. They're never like the kid from UCF this year.
That quarterback, Gabriel. Is it Gabriel?
Lights out. He's throwing 80% of his pet catches. 80%. And he has like one pick all year with like 22.
With no defense.
Not even being noticed. Not even being noticed because his team is not that good.
Hit it on the button. You just hit it on the button too, Junk. Says his no defense and his team's not any good. It's not a team award. It's a player award.
No, MVP is most valuable player.
But agree or disagree with me with this, because I don't know if it's the best player, but in my opinion, like when you look at like Heisman Trophy winner was like when Tebow won it. Like that's a Heisman. Like Tebow. Leadership. I mean, he changed the game. Like to me was a Heisman. He was nowhere near the best player that going
Kurt,
into the pros.
see. You know what, Kurt? I see that Heisman commercial on TV.
It's awesome.
I feel like the rest of those guys want to kick Tebow and Baker Mayfield out of that house. There's some guys that are in there that have gotten the Heisman Trophy. They look and go, "Are you kidding me? You were a Heisman Trophy winner?
Right?
Like I know you're the best player in college, but." Man, oh man!
But think about this. Think about this now. Beelan, give me one of the best quarterbacks of all time, NFL. Just throw a name out.
Peyton Manning.
Not a Heisman Trophy winner. Petro.
Tom Brady.
Not a Heisman Trophy. Jim.
Montana.
Not a Heisman Trophy winner. Kenny.
Not
a Heisman. It's like think about it. Who's the best player
Trevor
that won a
Lawrence's
Heisman?
best thing would be not to win the Heisman.
When you look at guys,
he's going to be a bust.
Does it people think it always translates. Steve Spurrier for Florida, won Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
Hung around in the, you look at those guys, Tebow, Baker Mayfield. You look at some of them, and you look at some of the guys who won it and went on and had great careers.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yep.
It's
not,
to me, you kind of know you got it right.
It's not always like the winning teams. It is most of the time. It's not always like the top 10 teams or whatever. I think when Lamar won, I don't think Louisville was in the top 10.
No.
Baylor when RG3 won. When RG3 won, I don't think Baylor was anywhere near the top. Vic won the Heisman Trophy. Yes,
he did. Michael Vick won
the Heisman.
I forgot that. You know what?
I'm pretty sure Michael Vick won the Heisman Trophy.
Here's a trivia question: how many Heisman Trophy winners won a Super Bowl?
A quarterback?
No. How many Heisman Trophy winners have won a Super Bowl?
That's a great question.
Either zero.
No, Michael Vick was nominated twice. He didn't win it.
Now, who beat him out?
He did not win it.
Because he was the best player in college football.
Somebody recently won it. I just got to think of who it is.
Did Herschel win? Was he a part of it?
No, Herschel didn't win a Super Bowl.
No one. I'll give you guys. A lot of these guys are old.
Easy.
There 3 of them are within the past 20 years.
Remember back in the day when they handed it to Earl Campbell?
Cam Newton got to a Super Bowl.
Sims and,
All right, you ready for this list? I don't know a couple of these guys are. Well, Paul Hornung.
Paul Hornung. He played for Notre Dame. He was good.
I didn't know. Roger Staubach.
Okay.
Won it for Navy. Yes, he did.
Mike Garrett.
Played for USC, running back for the Chiefs, number 21.
Jim Plunkett.
Played for Stanford, went on to play for won the Super Bowl with the Oakland Raiders.
Tony Dorsett.
Oh, that's
Cowboys running back, went to Pitt when they used to wear the cool mustard colored
Jim
uniform.
rattling them off.
Yeah, this is a good one. Marcus Allen.
USC went to the Oakland Raiders.
Yep.
George Rogers.
George Rogers, University of South Carolina, number 38.
Redskins? Where do you win it with?
Yeah.
Redskins?
Play for the Redskins in the
Keep
same.
going.
Jim, this is like Rain Man.
Ready for these? Desmond Howard.
Yeah, we all know him. That's not impressing anybody.
Charles Woodson.
Not impressing anybody there. Everybody knows that one.
Reggie Bush.
Okay.
New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans
Yeah,
Saints.
so the two, Kurt, you ready for this? The two guys that won the Heisman Trophy over Michael Vick?
Yeah.
Ron Dane
Kenny's
and
boy.
Chris Wanke from Florida
Oh
State.
my God! You gotta be joking.
Chris
Yeah,
Wanke.
Chris Wanke.
27-year-old.
Danny Werfel, right? Didn't he win the Heisman?
Yeah. That system. Oh no, Wanke was Florida State. Warfel was Florida.
Hey, I just did have a Rain Man moment, didn't I?
How about this?
Yeah.
By the way, Breslin's saying, "Good job, Jim. We knew we would only know some of these guys."
Who said that?
Breslin. Who's the Oklahoma quarterback to win it? Petro. Was that Josh Hempel?
Thompson.
Are you asking? I know who
Jason
he
White.
is.
What do you
I know
say?
who it
Jason
is.
White. Jason White.
Number 18. Oh, yeah, another great career.
I'll give you another terrible one.
Crazy,
Andre
right?
Ware.
Houston Cougars.
You know who was probably the best? Cam got to a Super Bowl that won it. He was probably one of the ones that had a great college and pro quarterbacks recently.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm looking through like the most recent, like trying to go through the most
But if you
recent
think
ones.
Guys,
about,
got to put me back in the DeLorean. Let's go.
How the hell does Michael Vick not win one of? How does he not win one of them? The guy went to a
Crazy.
national championship as a freshman.
I mean, to be fair, the years
Put Virginia Tech on the map.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was 98, 99, 2000. 98 was Ricky Williams. He was phenomenal in college. So Ricky Williams in the Heisman voting, he got 85% of the votes to win this Heisman Trophy. And then Ron Dane in 99, he got 73%. And then I'm guessing in 2000.
He's a Jersey kid, I think.
2000, it was close between Wanke and Vick because Wanke won 58% of the votes.
And Wanke was older because he went and played minor league baseball in the Toronto Blue Jays organization, and then he came back. So he was a little bit older when he won that.
Kenny, guys, we got.
I got a good one. Remember when we used to watch the Virginia Tech games with Vic and we bet on them?
Jim Drunkenmiller.
Right, Drunkenmiller we started with, but then Vic came in. But you remember, we didn't need an offensive. We weren't worried about the offensive scoring.
Special teams.
We knew we were going to get a special teams block kick or block punt.
Beamer. He coached that.
Beamer got us at least 7 to 14 points on special teams every week.
All right, I got one more question for you guys. I got a couple minutes ready. Ready? Cam Newton, obviously, 1 year at Auburn, Heisman Trophy, national championship. Was there another player you guys can think of that just played like 1 year and had a season anywhere near something like that, college football?
Joe Burrow.
Johnny Manziel.
Manziel played more than one, didn't he?
Well,
Joe Burrow.
1 year like that.
Joe Burrow.
1 year like that.
Joe Burrow's a good one. Who had the better 1 year, Joe Burrow or Cam Newton?
Marcus Dupree. Marcus Dupree at Oklahoma had that one great year. Talk about the original man-child running. Go back and watch that 30
for 30, right?
Marcus Dupree was a man. You know what his biggest problem was? Bad advice. Yeah. That's all it was.
And my other one was college quarterback right now. You know the careers. Don't look at NFL careers, but just from college careers. If you would have this guy for at least 3 years as your quarterback. You taking Michael Vick from Virginia Tech, or Lamar from Louisville.
Michael Vick.
Oh, the thing is though, like I said though, Johnny Football, it technically was 1 year.
Put him in there
because
too.
Johnny Football did it as a true freshman. He didn't even see college football yet, and Johnny Football came in true freshman, was the first and youngest Heisman Trophy winner at the time.
And he lit up Saban 2 years in a row. Saban had no answer.
Both years. And I'll never forget that one play he did against Duke was just my God.
The bowl game.
He was
Where's
so
he
good.
now? Where's Johnny Football right now?
Texas, counting daddy's oil money.
All right, boys. Final words, Jim.
Wait, he always picks me first for some reason.
Yeah. You're in first place.
You know what? Stay safe, everybody, please.
Oh,
Just
Coach
safe.
Breslin's saying he would take neither. He would take Tim Tebow. He was a great college football player, man.
System
football.
System guy. We'll get into that for next week. We can't come up with these good topics like Heisman.
No, it's
stuff
good.
like
Great
this.
topic.
But we do this at 10 o'clock.
I know. It was a great topic, though.
Ah,
All right, final word. Petro, real quick.
stay safe, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to follow up with Jim. Listen, everyone needs to chill with the politics and everyone just needs to relax and just breathe for a second. It's going to all be okay, everybody. Don't worry about it. I don't know many people who make $400K. So we're all going to be okay either way.
Beelan?
I got no words. Let's go.
Kenny?
Yeah, I got one thing for you. You've been getting on me all month long about masks. Guys, I've been asking him for months for the all-in on sports cards that he made with Jen to get them down here so I can talk to a couple of the high school directors down here in Maryland. Still waiting for them. Where are they, Kurt?
Final shot. That's it.
Home.
That's the comeback, okay?
And
I'm going to keep doing it each week until I get them.
And here's my final word. In my Carney League, I'm in second place or tied with Jim, and I have everything but a tight end. I got Gesicki, terrible. Jimmy Graham, terrible. So I just said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just taking other tight ends. So this week I picked up Austin Hooper, put him on the IR. Jordan Reed, put him on the IR. I took, what's his name? Cook from the Saints, got him on the bench. So I have 5 tight ends now on my team. I don't have one, but I have 5. So I got to find one sooner or later.
I got one last thing. Bobby Blackjack, Petro's apparently complained about Kamara. I heard he's complaining about the trade me and you made too. How can you give Petro a handcuff?
Oh, good. I've weathered the storm.
The guy in first place complaining about trades.
The league is in trouble now. He's nervous. Look how nervous he is. I could feel the sweat coming down his face all the way.
Dylan's coming up strong.
But you know what,
who's
though?
in last place now, Jim? Who's in last place?
Got my first win, baby. Thanks, Kurt.
Who's technically in last place?
I'm tanking. But here's the thing.
Beelan moved ahead of Kurt, and Mr. Sickinger moved ahead of Kurt.
But listen to this, Petro and Beelan. Guess what's debuting in the Carney League this week?
Drew Lock.
Jim, nope. My backfield of Dalvin Cook and Christian McCaffrey is debuting this week in the Fantasy League, baby.
Hopefully you can dig out of that hole.
Oh, I'm in second place.
Oh, yeah, you tied
The
with
Carney
me.
League. All right, boys.
You're not tanking in that
LT.
Great show. Great jersey.
See you guys. Good show. Have fun.
See you guys next week.
Enjoy the games this weekend.